Officially 31 as of today. So we had my wife and I, we just went out for ice cream. What's up, everybody? Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, Phoenix, for sure. For sure. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. What up, Gamble? Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Kindness and Love is Free. Sharon, appreciate it. Jen. Anthony, see you Saturday. Appreciate it, Don Rosa. I wonder. Yeah, we did. We had a good day. Yeah, born in 94. Nice. Well, happy early 40th, Wicket. What's up, Just Peachy? Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. Young Buck. What's up, Rebel? What's up, Squirrel's Nest? What up, Lori? What's up, Phoenix? What up, Linda? How you doing? What's up, Backwoods? Sounds like it, Chrissy, for real. Oh, thank you for that. What's up, Tiffany? Phoenix, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm kicking. Nice. Happy 31.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Officially.
Yes. Pretty much since 25, I don't feel like I felt any different. For whatever reason, when I turned 25, I started to get violently hungover every time. Before that, I would be fine. So other than that, really nothing has changed. I don't know if you guys all remember an age when it was like, man, I just can't do it like I used to. And I feel like it's probably crept up on me more and more than I even realized. So I don't know if you had an age, Phoenix, where you were like, oh shit, I gotta calm down. I'm hungover till Wednesday if I go out on Saturday.
No, I had to stop drinking after the Navy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I've been 31 for 24 years and it feels good.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you, Lil Sherry. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you, Jenlyn. What's up, Holly? Beck said mid-40s for me. Nicole goes, 40 knocked me out. That's funny. Yeah. Everybody says that it happens, and then until you feel it yourself, where it's, again, you're waking up for work on Wednesday and you're mad at yourself from Saturday still.
And some people on here saying, man, those are lightweights.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like from Wisconsin, I got a little bit of credibility on the drinking. We go pretty hard. We're having some friends over this weekend. So we rented out like I guess like what you would call like the community room. That's by like kind of like the pool and the grill area. So we're doing that Saturday. So
you're gonna commune.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be able to maybe tell, because when we get together with our buddies, we like to have some fun, and it's finally getting nice out here. So we'll be kind of outside by the pool too. So
sounds like a good time waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, it usually always is. I can tell you that much. All right, man. Usually it takes about 10 minutes or so to get like 100 and some change in here. We already got over 200 tonight. That's awesome. So thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. What's up, Susan? Yeah, Anita, we do need to have some birdie bombs, and I guarantee that there will be plenty there. We have 4 new flavors coming out within hopefully the next 60 days, which is great. So I'm excited about that. Okay. So, Phoenix.
I thought she was talking about birdie bombshells.
Oh yeah, well, birdie bombshells. Yeah. I think the majority of people probably know like how the whole birdie name started. But if you guys don't, it's I have a liquor company. That's what's sitting behind me. Oops, that way. Looks like a box of golf balls, but instead of golf balls on the inside, it's actually like shots. So just like how you'd buy a box of Pro V1s, now you can buy a box of birdie bombs. So
Yeah, I have to admit, I was pretty impressed. You're very entrepreneurship ish, if that's even a word,
yeah.
at a young age. And I was like, whoa, this dude's pretty cool.
No, yeah, thank you. My wife says that I forget how my wife said it. She's like, yeah, it's been interesting to just see like what side quest is Kyle gonna choose this year? Like what's he gonna try to do? So oh yeah, she just saw that. So yeah, I actually too, on a side note, Phoenix, I just got the copyright and
Good.
not for that. I wrote a book.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. So this is like my first draft that I did. This was like when I got it printed at FedEx, but today officially copyrighted and it's in review on the Amazon KDP. So
nice.
Yeah. So I had to go through all that publishing stuff and I'll talk about it once it gets done. Oh, yeah.
Give us a little synopsis.
Okay. So the name of the book that I wrote, it's called The Tall Poppy. And I don't need to go super deep on it, but I lost my father almost 7 years ago now. And about 2 years before that, I was having a lot of anxiety. I started going to talk to somebody. And if you've ever talked to like a professional, you know, like you never really just ever talk about what's going on at hand.
Right.
And it just had a lot to do with like self-confidence. And one of the analogies that stuck with me that my therapist used was it's like what she deemed the tall poppy syndrome. And if you ever look at a field of poppies, they all grow very even and flat, except for a handful of them. You'll see like super tall poppies stick out. And it's about how society, in a way, where those tall poppies will catch your eye at first for the right reasons. And people will be like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, look at how tall that one is. Eventually, what ends up happening is people start to say, maybe we should cut it down and make it like the rest. And it's just all about like, losing my father. He was only not even 53. He was about to turn 53. And I just think about like, what would he have done differently if he would have known that at my age, maybe whatever is coming down the pike, would he have just really not worried about like what I call in the book, the shadow of the blade to come and cut you down, which is the shadow is, what are they going to think of me? So I kind of go into all of that and why you shouldn't be afraid of that, because you weren't put here on this earth to just live life at 70% because you're trying to make other people feel more secure, maybe not make them feel uncomfortable by you not being able to go out and do something.
Wow, that is powerful. I love it. Congratulations. I lost my dad, unfortunately, shortly after I met him. I was 33 when I found him. And he was in Vietnam. He was a sniper. And, it took me about 3 years to try to play catch up for what I lost. And I totally understand. He passed on from liver cancer in, maybe 6 years after I met him. I had to have been at least 41, 42. And I had to cram everything in my life into those little tiny frame that I knew him. And a crazy story, but congratulations on your book. You are real.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's obviously it's one of those things where it's like a conscious effort that I'm really, trying to like put it through in a way that me writing that book is kind of like standing for everything that I just said and kind of trying to live it. Like I've never wrote a book before. I had no idea what I was doing. I just sit in front of my computer and type. So it's in review. It takes about 72 hours, but I'll definitely let you guys know. Um, and
Well,
yeah,
we support you.
yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys kind of let me talk about that. And Phoenix, thank you for sharing that about your father.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
like did you have a whole military family, huh?
Oh my gosh, my military family goes all the way back to my great great uncles. I mean, great great grandpas, uncles. Um, I mean, just a whole military officer family. It's just, it's, I look around and I'm the first woman in my entire family tree, and then I look at my, the lineage and from my dad's side, and it's just like, wow, it was unbelievable. But yeah, very strong law enforcement, military, and doctors and nursing background.
Yeah, my mom's a nurse.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my mom's a nurse. My dad was a pew pew salesman, but he would
Oh, wow.
yeah, I actually, I went pig hunting with my dad in Abilene, Texas one time. And wow, was I out of my element. I was not expecting, kind of in that Dias Air Force Base, kind of just how rural parts of Texas were.
Oh,
And
heck yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now, I lived in Houston when I was in corporate America. I actually was in, I can't say the three initials that I worked for, but I did high end corporate sales for oil and gas companies. And I'll tell you, living in Houston was an eye opener for me.
yeah. I was out of my element for sure. When
And there are some rural areas in there. I mean,
oh yeah,
there's some companies that we had to go to in the middle of nowhere. It was crazy.
yeah. No, it was cool. It's definitely one of those things too where I mean I enjoyed it while I did it or while we were down
Hmm.
there. I mean I was a little caught off guard when we had to walk 2 miles into this guy's like hunting blind and I had to spray myself with sow piss so I didn't have any scent on
Oh
me
my,
for pigs. But outside of that, it was good. Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. So
When you said pig hunting, I was like, oh my God, I hope he's talking about animals.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I was. Um, all right, let's get into it. We got enough people in here. Usually we wait about 10 minutes. If you guys do join the live, Phoenix and I, we go live almost every weeknight where Phoenix is on with me at 7 p.m. Central. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Last night I went over how I believe that the Idaho 4 was potentially related to the giant Sea Gang. And when I say Sea Gang, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm talking about the CARTEL. So moving forward, that's what I mean. And,
Yes.
Phoenix, at dinner tonight, I was telling Mrs. Birdie, I kind of had like a little moment of weakness. In chat, I think you guys can understand this too. Because most of the people in the chat, it's a hive mind here, right, Phoenix?
Correct.
I had a moment of weakness, and I just started thinking, I'm like, man, why am I trying to figure out what happened with this? Do I really think that I'm going to be able to figure out what happened with the Idaho 4 and if it's related to this giant U.S. Marshal DEA multi three-letter agency operation? People tell me that I'm just a TikTok detective and all this stuff, and I had that moment of weakness for about 10 seconds, and then I started thinking like, yeah, I think we're going to figure it out, chat. I really do. I genuinely think that there is a reason why the chat and the people in here have been consistent. We've behaved the same way, and we're respectful. We disagree. It's truly a hive mind, and it got me fired up before I just, went live here. And I don't know if you guys can tell on your algorithms, but I've seen a lot of momentum of people waking up to
Yes.
what's really going on here. So I guess shout
Yes.
out to the chat, shout out to you, Phoenix, shout out to all the other guests, and shout out to the mods. But you guys rock. I think
Yeah.
we're helping. When I say helping, I
Yeah.
genuinely think we're helping waking people up for real.
Your chat is amazing. And I will say some of my people are in here. They are absolutely incredible. But, what you were saying is, I think a lot of people have doubts, like what is really going on? What is really true? What is fake? What's all this misinformation about? And why are we not getting the bigger picture? It's not meant for us to get the bigger picture because there is something happening that's big for our safety. Like in the beginning when I said, if this is for national safety, then so be it. But how could they send an innocent person that we believe at this point, from what we've been given, may just be innocent? Or if they're not innocent, they played some part in it, and boy, someone threw him into under the bus.
Yes,
And
they
I'm
did.
so glad that you brought this picture up, because I'm going to tell you something that I realized in this footage that didn't make sense to me. Is this footage obviously was dropped a long time ago. It's referenced in the documents to be validated. A lot of people are saying the audio may not be true, but these timestamps are accurate per the documents. Where they followed all this video is accurate, allegedly, per the documents that we see in court. But Bertie, I just want to say it's been so awesome being able to be a guest and show you more. And you've been so open to listening. And just that open mind will put us on the right track.
Well, thank you for that, in Phoenix. I think everybody in the chat will agree with me that this is just as much your chat as it is, if you want to call it mine, just because I'm the one going live here. But you are a staple of this, and it's been incredible. So right back at you. And I want to talk about this Linda Lane thing. And Phoenix, I know you had a video. We were talking a little bit. I haven't checked TikTok since my wife and I went to dinner and got back. But the last thing that I had asked you was, you had posted something about Linda Lane in the photo, and you were trying to figure out if it was a mail deposit box or what it could have been. And so I started just like looking on YouTube, and I started thinking, I'm like, have we ever looked at what some of these dudes over here? Oh, you guys won't be able to see that. Shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
And that's the trigger moment that I had like late last night. I couldn't sleep. I saw something in a video, and I thought, I need to dig a little bit further into this video because it's right in front of us, but I'm not getting it. And then I thought, you know what, I have to put my phone down for at least 10 minutes and get some stuff done. And when I was doing laundry, it hit me. When I stop thinking about it, it comes. So I went back to the video and I saw it right away.
Yeah. So my question, and what I'm getting at, I had to make that bigger, so I'm sorry, is if you guys remember, like when we started talking last night, if you were in the chat, about how, you know, these guys look like marshals. They have badges on the news. They're blurred out already, which, you know, some people in the chat were like, well, it's not uncommon for marshals to be at crime scenes. And I responded back to the comment. I just said, well, what kind of crime scenes do they typically respond to? Because U.S. Marshals aren't just going to your average.
Right.
I would even say they're not going to your average unalivings. You know what I mean?
They were called in.
Right.
They only come to the rescue. They're cowboys for a reason. They only come to the rescue when rescuing is needed. And the locals had no idea what they were up against. But these guys, they know. They live and breathe it every single day.
I'm gonna actually just look this up because I'm curious, like what it is that they all kind of encompass. I'm sure you know, Phoenix, what kind of cases do U.S. Marshals usually get called in for to work jointly?
Well, I won't say it, but let's see what it says, because it's big time federal.
Yeah.
And if you know who they report to, then you'll get it.
I mean, guys, look at this shit. Come on. You got fugitive apprehension, WITSEC, federal court security, or high-risk extraditions. When they partner up, it usually means the case has escalated in danger, scope, or sensitivity. It's everything that we've seen with this case. And actually, just real quick, Phoenix, I'll let you finish that point. I want to say this on top of, why is it that we care to figure it out and what happened? For me personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I can't speak for Phoenix. For me, I don't like how people have just accepted that, well, we're never going to know what happened. I don't believe that that should be like, okay, if they're going to put this crazy story out there, and let's say that, you know, again, if not, God rest their souls, but if this was Witsec or whatever it is, it's not that we need to know where they are or what they're doing. But if it was tied to a larger operation that's going to keep the general public safe, wouldn't there be a benefit to saying like, hey, yeah, we had to do this, but here's why we did it? I feel like that disconnect of not getting told why something gets done, it's getting out of control.
Yeah, but it's our human psyche to want to have closure. And the closure they gave us doesn't make sense. That's why most people are on the hunt, I should say, on the lookout to figure out, wait, something doesn't sit right with me about this case. Something is not right. We know that in our gut instinct, and women are highly intuitive. If you look at most of these people on this app and around, and no knocks to you, Bertie, you know, we're birds of a feather. We flock together here.
Mhm.
But I'm
Yeah, I
just
love
saying,
that.
I'm just saying, some women have that intuitiveness to say, wait, something's not right. Now, some guys are have this built into them automatically. Some guys don't. But I'm just saying that sense to know that something isn't right is the clue something is not right. But remember, things are done in a much bigger scale to keep some of us safe. And those who are just inquisitive or just curious or want to know the answer are the ones that typically find the answers.
Yes. And I believe that it all ties into a bigger challenge. And it's that I, I think that it's quite concerning how many people will take that Dateline episode at face value. That's
Oh,
concerning. And it's concerning not because they haven't looked into the case. Like, I understand that, right? Like, this is something that probably everybody in here, we maybe are wired to look into stuff like this. Maybe this is like a case that got you really interested because you used to live out there, or you know someone that lived out there, maybe knew somebody that went to school. I get it. Not everybody is going to be looking into this case. However, that's exactly where the danger comes into it then. Because if you don't know anything about it and you see that, it kind of almost should be like, okay, everybody in the chat, we know everything that we know that's going on, and they're not even talking about it. So like, how much other shit are we consuming that we don't look into it in depth like this, that we are now those people in a way that just took that Dateline episode at face value, but for something else.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can but benchmark a couple more different cases that you start questioning, okay, was this the same thing? Was this the same narrative? There is a case right now out of Kentucky that has the same goal to flush out some of this fraud and manipulation and, washing of money, but it's got the same bones to it. And now we're starting to see their rules by the playbook. And then, obviously there's another case that I can't specifically talk about, but there is one going on in Tennessee right now, taking down a boatload of traffickers in the teen area. And it is wild. And it's built around this one big case that it has give them carte blanche, the blanket to go in there and do what they need to legally in this case, and it's wild.
Yeah. And, and again, it's like it's kind of like the example that I gave when I was talking about like the kind of like ritual and symbolism aspect of this is like, look, I'm not saying that this is necessarily what it is. I think after I researched, I believe 100% there's a reason why we were told that symbolism, why that symbolism existed, whether it was to sell the narrative, whether it was what actually happened. But to come out and say like it's disrespectful and it's a taboo subject just because people don't talk about it or people don't know about it, I feel like that's the broken that's the broken kind of spoke in the wheel. And
Yeah, but remember, people believe different things. If you're from a really conservative background, you might not believe the religious aspect. If you're from the religious aspect, you might not believe the everyday narrative. So the way our minds, can comprehend something when we're told, 50% of the population will buy the story. The other break it down by 10 and 30 and 20%. They're going to believe something different.
Yes. And I think I would ultimately finish this kind of little preamble into what we're going to talk about tonight with what I just highlighted on the screen from my presentation last night. Which, if you did miss that is now uploaded on YouTube under Birdie Bombshells. I've been uploading the full lives over on YouTube per requests of the chat. So I believe if you look at this last couple of sentences here, it's no one's talking about what was really dismantled. The pipeline's gone, the crypto wallets are silent, but everyone's still stuck on this knife sheath. And it goes back to what people always ask in a follow-up to, well, why would they do this? As far as WITSEC or a sting or something that's not what the news says. And it's because of exactly this last sentence. What they do and what they put in the media, folks, it works very well. That's why they do it. Because look at how many people are still stuck on this and this only. You should see the top liked comments in all of my videos that get a little traction about like some controversial stuff. It's all about his DNA was at the scene, and it's got so many likes, and it's just, that's a good tell as far as like the majority of people that are probably scrolling through and seeing that. That is all they're stuck on.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people can't comprehend because this is an emotional pull that they have on us. They know what we buy based off emotions. Okay, an example would be Mother's Day. We love our mothers. We're going to go out and spend a lot of money on our mothers, right? So they get us emotionally, and then they pull us in, and then bam, they'll drop the bombshell, I should say. And then it's like, dang, I didn't see that coming.
Right. And I just saw someone that asked, do you think that the truth will come out in court? I don't. I believe that when this entire thing was given the green light to go live, which is pretty much right here. So I don't want to go all the way back over this, but I guess I'll just kind of say, like, if this is what happened, there's no way they're going to tell this in court. Think about the millions of dollars in media and PR and all this shit that they did to get this mission done. Like, no, at this point they chose there's going to be a public facing release valve. But I think there's a very good chance that the Idaho 4 case was not just a homicide. It was a tactical diversion. And I'll even go now and I'll say this for the people that maybe can't wrap their head around that nobody was unalived and it was WITSEC. I'll say, okay, if they were unalived, again, God rest their souls, but maybe that's why the marshals were there, because they knew it was a rug hit, and they're like, we're going to investigate the hell out of this, and we're going to end up taking somebody down.
Absolutely. And you know what? In my humble opinion, I believe 100%, I'll say with accuracy, that with everything that's been put out in the court documents, with Ann Taylor saying, hey, we're going to give you the alternative perpetrators. She admits Brian was in Moscow driving around. They don't have his phone records to say he went in that house. They don't have his phone records to say he was even close to that house. I think that he was involved somehow. How? Don't know. But I still don't think the whole truth is going to come out, because if the whole truth came out in the beginning, you said, what if it was some rogue agent that unalived people to save the entire mission?
Yep. And I had Devil's Advocate as a guest last night, and he brought up I forget the guy's first name that was in the New York kind of mafia mob scene back in the day, but he was an informant, and they allowed him to commit homicides to continue to keep their other informants safe. And the FBI would frame other people for their informants' hits. That's proven. There's documentaries about it.
Okay, okay, let me just preface this with saying there are court records on these people that could possibly be potential informants in this case, that they had to stay in the game per se to not blow the whole operation. If you look, they rounded up so many people. rug charges in that area, and all of a sudden they had plea deals galore. They were getting closer and closer to not just the middle guy, they were getting closer and closer to the big guy. They wanted the big fish in this. They didn't just want the middleman who they already had. They wanted the big fish, and the middleman gave them the big fish. It's like giving 5 people a little note, and they go out and tell 10 people, and then 2 people come out with the correct information, and the 8 of the other people have the wrong information. Those 2 people took down this whole organization.
Yes. And I've said it the last 3 nights, but if you're going to take down the leader of that organization, and we all know and we've heard of and we've seen and probably, unfortunately, some people have witnessed, like that, you don't do that in any short amount of time. It's going to take you years. It's going to take you years, and it's going to be a chess game. It's going to be moves and like counter moves if you're going to end up getting to them, because informants are going to get burned. Ops are going to have to go dark. Narratives are going to have to be created, because you know who else watches the news? The people that you're trying to catch.
Yes, they do. That's how they keep up. They have eyes and feet on the ground, and they have the local news sources. So a part of this is not just the rug running. Part of this is the illegal aliens in our country that they were after doing this type of activity. If you look hand in hand on the bigger scope of this, when Trump took office, boy, this just got a big shakeup. If you look in the short 5 months in what has happened to these massive organizations that are not here to keep our citizens safe, that are out to share some illegal substances that are very dangerous. I mean, they arrested someone who had enough rugs on them to wipe out the entire West Coast, upper North Pacific West.
Yes. And the other night, I brought up Terry Tate, the Office linebacker. I'm not going to necessarily play the whole thing, but what I genuinely feel like happened in this Moscow-Pullman area was like somebody came in and said, all right, God damn it, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. We're taking out all of it. We're going to take out the C gangs. We're going to take out the corrupt local law enforcement, any local politicians, anybody that's in the court system that's not. And I feel like this, whoever clearly was running this operation, this is what I feel like they embody. So chat, I'm going to let this play. You guys will get a kick out of this.
You make some.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, buddy.
Whoa! You know you can't bring that weak ass stuff up in this Humpty Bumpy. You killed it, Joe. You make some more. You know that, baby. Else you in for a long day. A long day. Cause Triple T's up in this bitch.
Some people said I was crazy when I brought Terry on board, but I'm a firm proponent of paradigm breaking, outside-the-box thinking. And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, bitch. I am an enforcer, man. Don't nothing go down in my house. It's 100% hard, baby. Sure, I jack a few fools. I give them the pain. But sometimes it's about intimidation, you know. It's mind games.
So, I'll see you later.
This part's so funny.
Ah! Check razor! Check razor! Get ready for the pain, woman! The pain train is coming! I got it! It's in there! Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! Thank you, Ted! Thank you, God! Ah!
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family. He fits right in here.
Surprise, kid! Happy birthday! As profits increase, the margin reaches a second break-even point here, after which enterprise falls into loss. Any questions? You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard! That ain't new, baby!
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice! Motherfucker!
That's not to say that Terry's gone soft. He still does what he does best.
No, this is Carl, Doug.
Of course, the office environment is, in fact, a violent world, and injuries do occur.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Dana. Oh, no! God. Oh. Playing hurt? Baby, that don't faze me. I don't got time for pain. The only pain I got time for is the pain I put on fools who don't know what time it is.
You guys get the point. But that's really what I feel like happened. It's like someone said, no, we're coming in here. We're done with this. We got to clean it up. It's getting out of control. People have infiltrated the U.S. universities via the Greek life organizations, and enough's enough.
And you know what? I think it started way back in Pennsylvania. You know, he had a history of using the H, and he relapsed. Then he went to rehab, and I wonder if they recruited him at his college to go into this next one to infiltrate, find, and take down.
Yes, and I believe that the background somebody has might even play more of a role in them getting a position like that or a role like that based on versus their skill, because they're going to be able to background check you. They're going to be able to look into it. And, you know, maybe again, there's capabilities you probably don't know, but.
And dude had an offense of stealing his sister's phone. I mean, come on. That was just like, that was the one for me. It was like, really? Yeah, he's such a criminal. He took his sister's phone.
Yeah. And he's, So, all right, Phoenix. While you are explaining the Linda Lane, well, maybe I can pull up that footage if I can find it. Let me go to the.
I sent you a picture I don't know if you got it.
Yep, I do.
But I want you to watch this video, and I want to ask the chat if they see anything strange about the setting, the scenery, the individual, the lighting, anything they see odd in this clip. Is this the clip or is this just a picture?
No, this is moving. It's an hour-long one.
Okay. Well, you don't have to play an hour long. I want you to play where he walks up the hill to go across this parking lot.
Oh, this is before he gets picked up.
Okay.
So let me go back to.
But doesn't he go back later to look in the dumpster again?
Oh, maybe.
And walks up the hill?
Yes, that. Well, because I think what I've seen is this guy comes from over here and he looks in and then he stands next to it.
And then there's another video. He walks up.
See, no, this is daytime. That would have happened maybe here.
I think it's at 4 a.m. ish type of. He walks up, and there's something that I noticed, and I'm like, I wonder if anyone else noticed.
4:06 maybe to 5 a.m. I'll do it to where he walks up.
Yeah, because some people said, oh, it looks like he has a nightlight on, or he was looking for something.
Come on.
Yeah, his walk was a little off. I'm just wondering if the chat, the phone he had in his hand, yeah. I was thinking a drop.
Oh, here we go. I've never seen this angle.
Now, I know it's not the best, but he's walking, and then he walks up to the dumpster. And yeah, he is smoking. I thought maybe it was a drop off or a pickup, but he's looking for something specific. And I don't know what time footage you have on there, do you?
This says 3:14 a.m. So I'll go back to that one that we were watching because it's better quality.
Yeah, it's better quality. So anyways, this guy starts walking up the hill, and when he's walking up the hill, this is the best picture you're going to get of him. We don't know who this is. I don't even know if they're a significant part of all this, but it's odd he went right to the dumpster. There he walks by. Now, where'd he go?
Well, he's walking up right now. I'm gonna let it
Oh,
kind of
okay.
run through while you
Yeah,
explain it so I can get that
let him
picture.
walk up. He does have a light. He's walking up. He has a little bit of a limp. I don't know if they're night vision goggles, but that was a good observation. It is dark outside, but I think he has a headlamp on. He is smoking. I think he does have his cell phone that he's using kind of like to look in the dumpster or around, or somebody's on the phone with him. Who knows? Maybe he's talking. But when he walks up around closest to the video cam possible, yeah, it might be a vape. I want you to take a really good look at his attire. And the reason I'm saying this is something doesn't sit right with me about this guy. Here he comes up around. He's going to get as close as he can to the camera. And I know this probably isn't the best quality, but stop right there. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of dumpster guy goes checking dumpsters with dress shoes on? We know he has a yellow hoodie. Whoever made the video in color has yellow hoodie.
Yes,
Is
which
he in dress pants and dressed shoes? Is he on his way to work?
well, here I'll pull
Is
this.
he dressed for work?
Let me go to our kind of our master doc, as I've been calling it.
The only reason I could see the dress shoes is they're black and they're shiny when he walks up as close as he can to the camera.
Oops.
And then I thought, are those dress pants? They sure do not look like jeans. Are they jeans?
Let's see if we can get it enhanced.
And it is about 4. What time is it in the morning?
It was 4. It's 3:14.
So who in their right mind goes, I thought, well, it's not a homeless guy.
Yeah.
But would it be somebody that goes to work?
It could be. Let's see what this does. Oh, that didn't do shit.
I don't think he was the lookout per se. If he was, then he was. But my thought was, why does this guy have dress shoes on?
It does look. Yeah. I don't know. It just sucks that it's so grainy. And
No, it looks like an overcoat that you would put on just to go and maybe do rounds. Was he a security guard? We don't know who this mysterious guy is because all he does is go to the dumpster, look in the dumpster, and then goes do another circle around.
this goes back to like if there's multiple different timelines and they're going around, they're doing like this. For all we know, Phoenix, like from the military, you have people that go on patrol. Is this guy on patrol? Is he going out? Is he like just he's just checking around. He's making sure there's not anything that's going to mess this up.
He looks like he's got some dress shoes on.
Yeah, which is odd.
I thought to myself, well, didn't the marshals have dress shoes on?
Oh, shit.
Just saying.
Let me pull that up. Because I got the video in a document here.
I thought maybe he was just a security guard or on his way to work.
Yeah. And Phoenix, I'm sorry. I can't find that picture.
Oh, here, I'll send it to you again. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, she's doing that. Let me just go back so I have her message pulled up so I can do this quick. Okay, hang on. So let's go to the marshals. You know what? Well, me and Phoenix are working this out. I'm going to replay this interview because this interview, you guys are going to notice their behavior. These are marshals. We zoomed in on it. We got his badge. I'll show you after this, but just watch this.
Less than an hour ago, we were here, and about 5 plainclothes investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was lit up. So we were able to peek in some of the windows, but we saw those men inside the home in the two particular rooms where the murders took place. We did not see them leaving with any materials. I asked them a couple of times, why are they back? They did not answer me. They pulled away in two vehicles. One had a Washington state plate, the other had an Idaho plate. But that is all we can tell you. But we did see a lot of activity. This house was lit up for nearly an hour. They were inside. We don't know why. Nothing seemed to be removed. But as you know, Ashley, yesterday, a lot of the kids' belongings were removed by Moscow police to be returned to their families.
So I'm just watching these guys as they're walking by you. Were you asking them questions, and were they effectively just ignoring you? Did they say hello? Did they say anything at all?
Not a peep. And I asked them specifically, why are you here tonight? Why are you here tonight? They did not acknowledge me. So certainly they were on a mission, and they left without saying a word.
So, Nancy, I just want to point out the video that we're seeing right now. Let's blow this up full, because, and let's replay that if we can too. This is the investigators walking out of the kitchen area into a hallway and then walking towards the living room. So there they are. It looks like they're emerging from the kitchen area, walking towards the front of the house. That grassy sign that's on the wall right there, that's the good vibes sign. There's actually two of those signs in the house. It's very confusing. There's a good vibes sign that was lit up in Kaylee Gonsalves's room, and there's also that same grassy good vibes sign right down there that faces the front in the living room. So they're walking out of the kitchen area and walking towards the front of the house in the living room on the second floor there. But that's the first time, Nancy, that we've actually been able to see them at work inside the house.
Where were they coming out of?
It looks like
that's the kitchen area, but what door are they coming out of?
Well, we wouldn't have been able to see
where the murders took place. We did not see them leaving.
Did you guys notice this last night? I just noticed this now.
Lit up. So
watch this.
We were able to peek in some of the windows, but we saw those men inside the home in the two particular rooms where the murder.
Yeah, he slipped. Yeah.
No, not that. This. Blurred.
Oh, yeah. Was somebody else there that they blurred out?
I don't know.
Or is it just the glow, the bloom?
You know, chat, I just kind of thought of this. I think it'd be interesting to go back and watch all of these type of interviews from right after it happened. Because look at how this, like, okay, I'll give this channel props. They're reporting. They go, we don't know who these guys are. Are they federal? Are they local? They're not saying a peep to us. They're clearly on a mission. And it's like, see, like that's what I'm talking about with, like, there's something inside of you as a person that you could just tell, like, they're really trying to figure that out. And she's just giving what she's truly seeing. There's nothing scripted. They would never probably put those guys on camera.
Right. Absolutely. Because the guy who first interviewed Steve G and Christy, he interviews them again later on. Like, he's their broadcaster, newscaster guy.
Took place. We did not see them leaving with any.
Damn.
But there was a video with two officers that come out of the house with two giant bags. So if you want to go back to the beginning, they cleaned out something out of that house with two giant bags.
Do you think that it would be the 14th?
Not sure.
Let's see. Chat, type of 1 if you guys are okay with kind of going back to some of the OG interviews or the OG news reports.
I don't think those guys that came in and rolled into town were prepared for snow.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because there's people that have said, like, no, like some of the local people, like, they wear cowboy hats or whatever. But my whole point would be, like, but would they be in a black government van? Would they be traveling in a group of 3 or 4 like they're there on assignment? I don't know.
No, not like that. Those are feds. They are truly marshals. They have to be. And if you look at the van, they actually blacked out their license plate, but it looks
Yes.
like a government. And I see all kinds of government vehicles where I live in Arizona, and they're very distinctive. You can tell every single one of them apart from the white cars.
Does anybody have a good interview like that is like, oh shit, yeah, we need to see that one that they know off the
Well, you
top
just
of their
saw
head?
Kathy Mabbitt. Go up a little bit. Now that's the coroner. No, down,
Oh,
down. Right there. That's the coroner, and she is friends, obviously, and possibly allegedly related to the chief and his wife.
Of Moscow?
Yes. She's the coroner and also a nurse
All right, let's watch a little bit of this.
and an attorney.
With a C, Mabbutt, M-A-B-B-U-T-T.
And I'm going to ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first, so I didn't actually go to the scene
Now-
until about 5 or 5:30.
That's not normal for a coroner not to go to the scene.
I was going to say, wouldn't they be on scene? So hang on. Are they just saying that they're letting the bodies just like completely sit out and be exposed? Because wouldn't the coroner come and at least drape them or do the like?
Correct. The proper procedure is that you would have heard sirens on that 911 call. You would have heard some urgency, and you didn't. And yes, the exposure, the toxins. I mean, let me just roll back. I worked at a hospital. I went to the coroner's office. I've seen and smelt dead bodies. It's not the most loveliest smell in the world, but they still are toxic to our environment. So yes, they have to remove them quickly. Now, I will say this. I unfortunately saw my first unaliving when I was 12 years old. Yes, I witnessed an murder at a drive-in movie theater. And you will never, ever forget the smell of the red stuff. You just won't. And I don't know why they didn't have her out there. She's the only one elected.
Right. So it's after the scene is secure and documented, is what this says. Obviously, we know that their job's not investigative. Are they the only people that technically pronounce someone officially unalive?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to have a death certificate.
Well, look at when they would probably arrive early. High profile, multiple fatalities, suspected mass casualty, small towns or rural areas.
Don't you think that she would have been on site?
She fits that for sure. You like, obviously, the cops have to go in. They got to clear the house. But like, I would even argue,
profile.
yeah, the first responders are really just going to make sure that people that are not, they're going to see if the victims need additional help or if there's any chance of saving them. They're going to probably put a perimeter around the scene. They're going to make sure others are safe.
Right.
But they're not even the investigators. They're not the detectives. They're not coming in and doing anything.
Correct. At this point, 911 has been dispatched. The police officers that are first to arrive are usually patrol. Patrol will secure the scene. They will not allow anyone to come in out. They make sure everything is safe. And then they call in detectives. And then they call in, obviously, who they need to. But in this case, you're talking about 4 unalivings. You want someone to document this and get them out of there quick.
Yeah. You know, well, then it kind of goes into the whole bodies in general. Like, I saw somebody commented on one of my videos. He goes, I'll give someone 10 grand if they show me a picture of the bodies even coming out of the house. And I started thinking, I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because I bet no one would be able to.
I haven't seen any footage of anything leave that house except for the fact that the Moscow Police Department at that time, the chief backs up in a U-Haul and all the deputies are removing their personal belongings and giving beds and sheets, bed items, blankets, and packing it up.
Maybe like they're taking them to their new location.
Possible. I'm going to say alleged because per the documents, Xana and Ethan were never documented home.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, allegedly, DM and BF weren't home. It was family weekend, the last game of the season, and they had family in town, and allegedly they were at the hotel. And we know that Maddie and Kaylee may or may not have made it in the house when they were dropped off because Eric Gower allegedly says he didn't watch them walk in the house. He drove off.
Yep. Did Phoenix, before I get away from this video, does she say anything? Let's just watch a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah, it's good.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So that's what my job is, to look at the bodies.
As a coroner, do you guys do the autopsies and all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists and we contract with Spokane to do that.
So in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was it's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
You're ruling all 4 deaths.
It almost was like she was like almost about to say 4 beautiful.
It's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
I don't think she even saw it.
I was just going to say that. And because actually where my brain went to was like, I have to remember that this is what this woman does for her job daily or however often. Right. But
yeah,
again, this is like the biggest crime scene in the world at this point.
And someone said it. She seems detached.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You're ruling all 4 deaths homicides?
Yes.
Okay. And can you give us a manner of death? Yeah.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
I believe she's believing it from the news release.
We'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
And do you believe these could be like a murder-suicide or?
No, they're 4 homicides.
4 homicides. Okay. And when it comes to doing the investigation post-autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
Yes. It's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be, at least in Washington, a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take, if those were relevant, to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
And do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them, approximately?
No, I don't.
Marissa
and
just
then
brought
she
up
crossed her arms.
Yeah. Well, the body language says a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa just brought up a great point. She's like, I think we're already seeing why it might be important to go back and watch some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody that's into like reading body language, there's a phenomenal book that I read. It's actually by an ex FBI investigator, It's called the like switch. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of that, but it talks about, kind of frames it in like a sales light. I read it when I was doing sales, but it talks about like body language and mirroring, and if you're approaching a group of people, like which way are their feet pointed? Are they closed off, meaning like their toes are pointed towards each other? Are they standing open? Are they approachable or not? It's super interesting. So if you're into that, it's called the like
Yeah,
switch.
she is closed off. She
Yeah.
is, and she doesn't make very much eye contact, and she's looking like, oh God, they didn't brief me on the answer.
Dude, that's a great point. Who just said that in the chat? What's her name?
Kathy, Cathy. I think it's Mabutt, Mabutt.
Mabutt.
Or Maybutt, Maybutt.
I'm just going to type in like 2000. Let's see how she acts in another one. If there's even anything on, well.
Wayne Carver's sister. Just kidding.
Ooh, this will be a good one too. This police chief one. All right. It's got 2 minutes left of this.
I don't know for sure.
Do we have like any, like, could it have been hours? Could it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Like, is there any sort of like time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, gotcha.
And you said the scene was really difficult. I mean, is this something you've had to deal with before in Moscow?
Since I've been coroner, there have been at least 2 other multiple homicide scenes that I've been involved in. So.
Would you say this is probably the most gruesome?
Oh, it's hard to just single it out. It's the only one I've been to where there have been 4 people at one scene. There have been the other ones have had multiple scenes.
And was anybody else injured, like any non-deceased people?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't necessarily be notified either.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like, because the injuries could be similar, it might matter to you.
Oh,
But
right.
no. Okay.
Dude, her skin is
Were
crawling.
the deceased all in close proximity to each other, or were they in different rooms?
I don't know that I can discuss that.
They didn't brief me.
My next question too. So, I think yeah.
Well, we
Are you-
were able to get
are you wearing purple?
Yeah. What's your name?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Blink twice if you need help.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
Do you know what the time frame for that would be?
It just depends on how relevant the toxicology report is, but
Oh, okay.
So-
They know she's being awkward.
could
That's
be.
why they're doing that.
Thank you.
I believe that's why the cameraman zoomed in on her hands. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
this also, see, chat, you guys want to know why I am doing this and I'm not actually going out for a news channel as an employee? Because I would crash out if somebody's answering my questions with that. I would be like, tell me something, woman. Tell me, you know something. You were there. Come on. I flew out here. I got on the plane at 5:30 in the morning. I need you to tell me something because I would lose my shit.
Yeah, I've taken my time to come ask you questions and you're
Yeah.
evading the questioning.
Yeah.
You are under arrest.
Yeah, I'm making a citizen's arrest. You're under arrest. Next thing you know, you're in Koberger's spot. No, I'm just kidding. Just
Tell me what. Now you're waterboarding.
yeah. You guys, I'm gonna get this out of her. I'm just kidding, folks. Just got jokes.
Wrestler like
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah, Terry Tate, office linebacker, is gonna be my personal assistant. He's my cameraman.
Oh, my word.
Good times.
Oh.
Good times. All right. I want to go to this one now. So let's watch the Moscow. What would I type in for that? Would it be county, or what would it be?
I would just do the Idaho 4 and then do it by a date, news conference or news
Okay.
interviews. She does have some other interviews that are interesting, but just small press.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get this guy. Okay, key moments. Okay, key moments. Key moments, right?
And it's in the Independent, so let's see.
Okay.
Thank you for coming today. Last night, in conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohlberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. Kohlberger resides in Pullman, Washington.
Oh, here's the full one. Do you guys want to go back and watch that one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. So the other one?
Yeah, the other one's fine, but it was just a...
Thank you for coming today. Last night, in conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohlberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. Kohlberger resides in Pullman, Washington, and is a graduate student at Washington State University. We will provide as much information as we can about the extradition to Idaho and the criminal process. However, due to Idaho state law, we are limited in what information we can release today until Kohlberger has his initial appearance in Idaho court.
As Chief Fry indicated, a criminal complaint was filed yesterday here in Latah County, charging the defendant, Mr. Kohlberger, with 4 counts of first-degree murder, in addition to felony
This guy can
burglary,
barely
which
contain
involves
himself.
felony in the residence
He
with
knows
intent
it's
to
not.
commit the crime of
He
murder.
knows.
Is our community safe, or is law enforcement still on the search for other suspects who might be involved in this attack?
What I can tell you is we have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I do believe our community is safe.
As the chief indicated, this is not the end of this investigation. In fact, this is a new beginning.
As Bill shared, this investigation is far from over. In fact, I appreciate what he shared, that this is not an ending, but rather a new beginning. The difference now is, as he shared, that we are dictated what information we can share by the court process and by laws in our state of Idaho.
Your department and other investigators on the case took a lot of flack for keeping information close to your chest. Are you glad that you did that, and were you worried about tipping the suspect off?
I will 100% stand behind the way that we handled this investigation. And this all started from day one with our patrol officers arriving on scene, locking down the scene, us calling in the Idaho State Police, us calling in the FBI, and keeping information that was pertinent to this case very, very tight.
These tragic murders took 4 young, vibrant lives from our community. Nothing we do can bring them back. The only thing that we can do in law enforcement to honor their memories that we know of is to bring this to a successful conclusion.
There's that word again.
Look. Got it. I don't even need to say it. It's all just weird. It's just weird. I don't even know if I want to look at this guy anymore.
He eventually retires, gets his full pension, goes and runs for sheriff, and loses his bid for sheriff. I don't know why. It just said terminated. But he did have some local supporters giving him money for his campaign, like Ethan Chapin's mom.
Really?
You've had a chance to look.
Yes.
Let's see what this guy says.
I like watching the locals.
Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's go local Moscow / Pullman news broadcasts 11.
Yes, Sharon. Thank you. Tap, tap, tap your screens, guys.
What is it? Is it KTVB that's theirs?
Yes. That's one of them.
All right. He's smiling in every picture. Neighbor of the Moscow guy. Okay.
I can't take him seriously.
Suspect named and arrested in this investigation is certainly a major break in the case. Brian Kohberger is now charged for 4 murders near the University of Idaho last month.
KREM 2's Janelle Finch is joining us now in the KREM 2 newsroom with what we know about the suspect.
Officials say the person responsible for the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students may be Brian Kohberger. Since Brian Kohberger's arrest this morning, we've learned he lived and went to school just a short drive from the crime scene. Moscow Police Chief James Fry confirmed Kohberger is a graduate student at Washington State University and a Pullman resident. This afternoon, WSU shared a statement following Kohberger's arrest. A quote from WSU Chancellor Elizabeth Chilton reads in part, "This horrific act has shaken everyone in the Palouse region. We will long feel the loss of these young people in the Moscow-Pullman community and hope the announcement today will be a step toward healing." KREM 2 located Kohberger's apartment building in Pullman. Today, crime tape was up around the complex and police were speaking to neighbors. We spoke to one of the people living here. He says it's disturbing to think he could have been living near someone capable of committing these crimes.
I'm just kind of dumbfounded, that this could be going on right here, or somebody could be conspiring to do something like that right here.
WSU officials say Kohberger
Yeah, again, I would turn into Terry Tate if I'm like, okay, dude, I chose you of the 300 people that are outside right now, and that's the answer that you're going to give me. Like, I just, oh.
Yeah, what everybody is smiling. Like, you picked me.
Yeah, God.
I would be frustrated too. I want answers, dang it. I'm going to find them myself.
Yeah, I want to know again. Oh, here from KREM 2 News. Okay, what is this one?
All right, this is a story that is definitely trending today.
Oh, that has nothing to do with it.
5:30.
Again, hey, chat, I'm going to ask you guys again. Does anybody have something that's like, oh, shit, we need to go look at this?
Now, what were you going to say about the dumpster guy?
I was going to say...
we got sidetracked.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, I would just be curious if one of his outfits matched one of those guys that we saw getting into the van. But if it's yellow...
Oh, got it.
Again, we're also assuming that colorized photo was accurate.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had other clothes to throw on, right? That was a different day.
Well, what if we did this?
Or they got a tip, or somebody left them, some information. The yellow hoodie at the grub truck, at first I thought it was that guy, but his pants are different colors. His shoes are totally different. Those are dress shoes.
Let's see this. I saw that Only Available at Not Available had pulled a video.
And remember the guy who gets out of the car with the other girl and 2 guys, and he dropped something in that mailbox? And you pulled it up on AI, and it was a...
Yeah, that's how I got banned.
Well, why in the world would he drop it in a mailbox, an outgoing mailbox for the apartment community?
That's a good
If
point.
that indeed was something.
See, yeah, I mean, because you had the photo of the Dropbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea about a lot of this, which again makes me question, instead of like being like, oh, it's this giant mystery. It's like, no, we don't have a lot of ideas about it because that's by design.
Correct. Now, I do know in the 1330 Linda Lane, there were a lot of questionable people who had rented apartments there. And my first thought was, who released the 1330 footage? It's in the court documents, but somebody had to have released it, charged some people some money to obtain it, and then obviously people started sharing it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Now, what is this?
Well, I put those 2 screenshots of this guy into.
Oh, okay.
So this says that it's white.
See, and that's why I wondered who sent you the video saying it was yellow.
I don't know. I don't know where I got that. didn't remember. If
I
you
don't trust that. I just didn't trust it was yellow, only because there was a guy at the food truck that had a hoodie that was yellow, but it looked like it was a girl and not a guy.
I'm just gonna say, what are the odds that it's yellow?
Someone
It says
colorized
very
it.
low.
See, and I didn't think it was yellow. Someone colorized that video, and then they sent it to people. I didn't buy it. I was like, there's just no way that's
Yeah.
too much of a coincidence.
I would say that bright of a yellow you could pick out too. This says unless it was a very pale pastel yellow, close to almost off-white. It's certainly not yellow. It's less than 5% is what it says based on its infrared imagery. So if that's white with blue jeans, is that...
I thought maybe it was gray. Because remember, the color, and gray is a big color there too. But I thought maybe because of the lighting and the cameras, it was actually gray.
Well, I don't know if I ever tried to colorize this
And
one.
how could that be a cop looking at a dumpster at the time alleged when the murders were, the unalivings were happening? It just didn't make sense.
Why would it do that? What
I
the
don't
heck?
think that's Nate. He was wearing all black and he had a different style jacket. I thought it was light gray.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
It's alpha. Yeah, could be. Who knows?
Oh well, speaking of that too, I thought this was super important, and it's just kind of online with that.
Yeah. Interesting things. That was over a year ago before he ever jumped on our lives.
Remember how he says he doesn't really follow it? This
Nope.
is in Facebook posts, right? Or where'd you find this, Phoenix? I got this from you.
It was in Facebook, in the Facebook group, one of the largest groups for the unaliving of the Idaho 4.
Just seems, again, very odd. He's been barely never joins lives, doesn't really talk about it. Just said, oh, this looks interesting. I used to live there. But yet he's been commenting on it, saying that even if you... Okay, this is not... I just got a warning. I swear to fuck. What did I even do?
I have no idea. Like, TikTok shop.
Yeah, spam it with TikTok shop or whatever. We love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. We love
Keep tapping. He must be watching.
Yep.
We've got all kinds of BOTS too.
Yeah. That we do. All right, let me go back to this because I want to we'll play this just for a second.
Per the documents, all these are the correct timings on these Linda Lane footage.
Mm-hmm. No, we've watched that a bunch. Now I'm nervous about if it was because it was YouTube and maybe like a logo showed up, but whatever, we'll be fine. This is one that Sammy T Mafia had sent me. So I'll play this. This is interesting. We'll just do it. Oh, did Phoenix just go? No, they got Phoenix. Yes, tired AF. Good idea.
Well, you might say because it's weird.
Hang on. Phoenix is requesting. Let me get her back up here.
Yeah. Sorry, I went to go and it kicked me out.
Oh, you're good. All right. Somebody said the Ring camera footage. What was the Ring camera footage? 220? Did somebody say? Oh, this is 12:20. Is that a Mustang? Is that the Mustang? Yep. Does he have something around his...
He's hiding his face. He knows there's a camera there.
Yeah, but look here. Look over here. Hang on. I'll zoom in. Doesn't it kind of look like there's something around his...
An over-the-shoulder sling bag?
I don't know.
A vacuum? A chest? A vest? Maybe a vest? Oh, it looks like a... Oh, wow.
See that?
Yeah. Something...
It's more down
wonder if
here
they
that
can-
it caught my eye.
I
But
wonder if they
like,
can clean it up.
yeah, here, watch him walk in. See how he pushes it back with his hand?
Yeah.
Like he does, like he's walking and he does like this. He kind of does like this. Right there.
Yeah, and he's carrying something in his hand. They blocked it out.
He's getting scared. Not to be that guy. Probably shouldn't park anywhere here. They told her to park at the...
How did that many people fit in that car? It's like a clown car.
5,
Plus driver?
4 plus the driver. 5.
Yeah.
A man purse? No, it was something. I wonder if it was a potato. Pumpkin.
He's getting scared. Not to be that guy. Probably shouldn't park anywhere here. They told her to park at the parking lot.
Why would they be scared?
Shit.
Wonder if someone can get that audio. I mean, I know they said, "Are you scared?"
Yeah. I mean, I could screen record it. And then I could put
Well,
it
they
in
said that they
Canva.
could park anywhere in the area.
Here,
So they were
let's
there
do that.
visiting.
Chat, if you guys want to bear with me, if you're okay with that, I can screen record it quick. And then I can put it
Yeah.
in Canva and we can enhance it.
That would be awesome.
Okay, let's do that. That is the 12:27. All right.
Now, I know I caught "Are you scared?" but chat, did you hear anything of value? Because I know that he dropped whatever he was carrying in his hand in the drop box. That's the outgoing mail.
And I'm going to go on mute for the next minute while it records so you don't get feedback.
Okay.
Actually, it should be fine. If you guys hear something, that's just because I have it turned up so that I can hear it. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually really curious to see what this is gonna say. What if we heard some? I don't know. Who knows? Just enhancing the audio in itself, guys. It makes such a difference that people think that it's fake. Then, I mean, I'm screen recording it right now. The only way that it would be fake by enhancing it is if it was fake to begin with, and that is what's so difficult about this case, because you don't know how manipulated was it prior.
Right, because whoever had it at the 1330 had access
Oh my
to
God, I'm
it.
an idiot. I never pressed screen record.
Oh, shoot.
Well, it's going now. It's only a minute and a half.
I wonder if there's anything hidden in this one.
Well, Phoenix, I'm going to say that I bet there is. Or I bet, look, chat, do you guys want to make a bet? Actually, I don't even know what I would bet everybody, but it would probably be the same answer that I would bet on anyways. And I would say, I'm going to guess that we're going to find at least one thing that we didn't hear.
I agree.
You know, and so I'm so curious because this footage, doesn't it seem like this footage that we just watched, right? The one that I'm screen recording right now, doesn't that seem like that footage has picked up some steam? Like it's gotten more, I hate to say the word popular, but it's like more people are bringing that up.
Yeah, I think, well, this was what, about the 1237 time frame? Yeah, this one is probably, and I kept saying what was going on before everything, the 2 a.m. time frame that the coroner 2 to 5 gave us. So what was happening before? Well, they were out and about.
That's what I want to know. All right. Oops. All right. There we go. I got it, chat. Uploading to Canva now. Oh, wait, that tripped me out. All right.
Definitely don't ask AI to enhance that picture again.
No, hell no. I would, yeah, there's no way.
For those who saw it the first time, put a 1 in the chat that whatever he walks up and puts in the box. If you saw Birdie do the AI enhancement and were freaked out,
yeah.
put a 1, then you know what we're talking about.
And how weird is it that it just matches exactly what has yet to be found?
Exactly. And if the realty company did have control over this property, did someone take it and drive it to where it needed to go?
Well, that's what I want to know. I would almost guarantee that it was. Because
for those who didn't see it, it was something that was missing from the sheet.
It was the Schmurda weapon. And then I asked AI, what would it be? And it goes, oh, it's a K-bar. I mean.
Allegedly. All this is alleged for entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's why we all freaked out, and then Birdie put it on the screen on accident when it was coming through, and we were cut off right there.
Yeah. Yep, they got us. All right, here we go. I got it here. I I have like a PTSD from that noise. If you guys just heard that. All right, let me share my screen here, folks. Well, Phoenix, I'm trying to let you up. Do it again, Phoenix. Just got to crop this chat. All right. I don't know where Phoenix went. She'll be back. All right, let's enhance the audio. Yeah. What did it show, Jack? Yeah, I'm gonna make it bigger here. Hang on. All right, Phoenix is back, everybody.
Whoop whoop.
There
Okay,
you
so
go.
what did it enhance?
I did the I did like a voice enhancement. So I'll zoom in. Let's watch just like spelling out the words that you guys think that it is in the chat. If you guys don't mind. All right, here we go. This has got enhanced voice. Let's hear what it sounds like. I'll turn the volume up too.
Just getting scared. Not to be that guy, but you shouldn't park anywhere here. It's only the park at the part of the lot.
Oh, we're gonna listen to this again. Someone just said that's for sure Ethan in their opinion. Wow. I can try captions. 1 second. I just have to do it in CapCut. So I can try. One second.
Now, since Ethan's siblings were all in school with him, did they live close?
Maybe. I would guess they probably did. I mean, I'd
Let's
never
ask the chat. Does anybody know in the chat? That's a line I won't cross. I know there's some people in here that are
Wait, what's
in
the
Moscow
line?
in here.
I don't get it. What are they referring to?
Probably giving information.
I need Mrs. Birdie to come to the rescue and get me some water refilled.
No, I'm not saying I don't think his brother had anything to do with it. I was just wondering if they were close in the vicinity where he was staying.
Yeah, I don't think that that's crossing a line.
No.
Oh, shoot.
I think they were in the same frat because the frat gave him a scholarship and they just had graduated, last year maybe?
Dude. Oh.
Coming up. And here's another thing that I thought about is Ann Taylor was describing to the judge what phone records they had put in the PCA that they made it appear that it was Brian's. And I thought, well, if he's involved in this somehow and wasn't the unaliver and may have been, hey, can you come pick me up from a buddy of his that had a mutual contact of people in that home, that would be possible, right?
Yeah.
And they involved him unwillingly and they planted the sheath there for a reason to frame him.
Oops. Every time that I try to do this, this audio stuff, my brain shuts down. So hang on, it's downloading now into an MP4. Try to put it into CapCut. All right. As it's doing that, I wonder if I can play it. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Birdie.
People said thank you.
She's so pretty.
All right. This download hopefully is continuing. All right. Okay. So, oh, shoot. Well, it is continuing. Let's play this again. Let's see if there's any audio tools that I have. Oh, okay. It's done. MP4. Let's put it into here. Thank you. You rock. Oh, please work. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. That's the first time that has actually worked. Chat, if you've been in the chats, you know how exciting this is right now for me.
Yes, that is awesome. I love it when technology works perfect.
Yes. All right. Noise reduction. Let's hear what we got. And hang on, where's the volume? Let's see what we got. I don't hear shit.
I don't hear anything either. Did you do ASMR?
No, I did I had just turned it down, but here. I've noticed music enhancer works good.
It sounds like the Mustang.
Mm-hmm. And I think the taillights look like a Mustang. It's so quiet. I wonder if I do this. Now I'll download just this. I figured it out, chat. Now that I did it one time, actually, I'm going to wait till I finish, till this actually happens before I jinx it. Thank you guys for being patient. Yes, and on CapCut, I could do captions. I could do all that. So I think that would be, if we could have this audio, I think there's a lot that lays in this because, okay, so let me ask this, chat. Or Phoenix, let me ask you also, do we know for sure really anything on who is in this?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
The guy hides his face. The girl does kind of look like Xana, but I don't think it's her. The other two people I've never seen before, other than there's no identifying sweatshirts or t-shirts or numbers or anything on them to have anything of reference, not even at the grub truck or anything during, the day of the football game.
Yeah. Someone just said, people say you could see Brian in that. Look, if we did, I would shit a golden brick right now. And
He's pretty tall.
And I would probably, I don't even know how I would feel if I would be like, how have we watched this 10,000 times and never noticed it? But, or if would we be like, holy shit, this guy's there?
But you know what? There's so much more to this Linda Lane footage that is still missing and stuff that has been skipped and edited and all kinds of stuff. I mean, if you really watch the whole 4 hours, it jumps. There's 13 seconds missing here, and there's so much that might be missing.
Yeah, and I think I clipped a part of one of the lives where I was like, if you were to just go off of the rumors and that Linda Lane footage, I feel like it tells a more accurate story than the court documents.
True, because in the court documents, it does have, it has one of the places the Elantra goes to the 1330. It's wild. They tracked all these different stops to where that Elantra went to.
Jack, if you want to email me at it's birdiebombshell00 at gmail. That's
even in the documents. Even in the documents, Birdie, it does specify that the time on this footage is accurate.
Right. Exactly. Okay, cool. That download completed. All right, let's do a new one. Let's delete this shit. And let's do... Oh, wait, that one said 6 minutes ago. It says completed. Okay, there we go. Now it's in. Cool. Hell yeah. Guys, if you've never seen, I know it's CapCut and people probably don't maybe know CapCut's capabilities. I don't know. I pay for whatever that thing is monthly. It's not crazy expensive. It is unbelievable what you can do on your iPhone with CapCut. All right, let's see if this is louder. I hope it is. Yes. Let's just listen to the original again. What the fuck? There we go.
Just getting scared. Not to be that guy.
It sounded like he said, I'm about to beat that guy's ass. I don't know.
Or it must be that guy's. Can you put captions?
Yeah.
If it said he must be that guy's, why would he drop it in the box?
See, this is what I don't get. How does it only pick up that many captions? It picked up 4 words out of the whole thing.
Maybe because it was muffled. Turn down the bass.
Yeah.
That's what Chrissy says.
Okay, let's see. Now I'll try the noise reduction. Let's see what CapCuts does. Oops. Come on. Oh, this is going to be good, I think.
Just getting scared. Not to be that guy. We shouldn't park anywhere here. It's only the park at the park.
Those captions are bad. Let's see if it auto-generates now with the audio. Nope. Okay, it looks like these captions aren't going to do much for us, folks, but we got the audio tools now, which is good.
Yeah, that's definitely better.
Yes, so let's go to auto-tune. We don't need to keep watching the car pull up. Let's just... Shoot, that was too much.
And if they told her to park at the bottom of the lot, I wonder if that's the car that leaves at 4 in the morning.
Could be.
Just getting scared. Not to be that guy. We shouldn't park anywhere here. It's only the park at the park.
Did you hear? Did you hear him say we probably shouldn't park anywhere in here?
Whoa, is that what he said?
Go back.
It's getting scared. Not to be that guy, but we shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park at the part of the lot.
Which, okay, hang on. So now we pull up and we go to so they're right here.
Yeah, that's the parking lot.
And so when he's pointing, is it technically that way because it's mirrored?
Well, here's the problem. The parking lot ends there. She has to do a turn and turns around and goes out that way because there is no...
where they go out. So he's
Yes.
pointing this way. So, and then it's just
Yes.
interesting. You see that guy. I tell him to park down there. And then where do you see that
Yes.
dude get picked up?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So he's going to point. So this car clearly has to turn around because
There's no parking there.
it's right there.
Yeah, dead end. Right.
And then this dude that walks in
Points down there.
points to over here.
Yes.
It's getting scared. Not to be that guy, but we shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park.
Yes, at the end he just pointed.
Yes, and she turns around.
And where does all the activity happen throughout the night?
The dumpster area.
Right there.
But here was my point with this Linda Lane footage and the audio. How could this pick up everything on the other side of those two apartments where the 1222 address is?
It does seem so far away.
Yeah. How could those apartments be so quiet at the 500s and the 590s? How could they be so quiet right here on the Queen Road address? It's right there at the end, yeah. That it picks up, that audio picks up all that noise.
I mean, that's 85 meters. So I
guess, that's almost 200 feet maybe. 100 meters is 385. So yeah, I guess it could pick up. It looks far away on this map, but it is actually really close, I know.
Okay. Let's do vocal enhancement now.
It's getting scared. Not to be that guy, we shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park at the
bottom part of that lot.
Right.
All right. So now let's see. Let's just see if high pitch.
What is that girl saying?
I don't know, because her voice was the only one that got better.
Right.
Or a little bit clearer. Okay. I don't want to say it first. I'll play it again.
Okay, what did she say?
I thought I heard, is Xana still going to be in there?
That's what I thought I heard her say, Xana.
No, she doesn't say going to still be in there, but...
God, I wish we had captions.
I know. It sucks. It pisses me off because...
Is Xana gonna be sleeping? Is Xana gonna be scared? What does she say? Something about sleep.
What is lo-fi?
You shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park at the launch part of the lot.
Can you do me a favor and play it slow?
Oh, good idea. I think that the best... Well, no, I think that the best audio was vocal enhancement.
You shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park at the
I don't think slowing it down helps much.
No, it didn't.
Maybe 0.9.
Thought.
Oh, wait. Was that pitch? Well, let's just see what 0.9 is. All right.
So he said. So first he said, "Are you scared?" And she says, "No, I'm not."
Right. Let's put the pitch up.
You shouldn't park anywhere.
Ooh, that sounded decent.
Oh yeah.
Did I miss it?
You shouldn't park anywhere. It's only the park at the launch part of the lot.
So, someone just said, or Tired AF just said, you need to use a high pitch audio. So let's do this with the pitch up as well.
Here it is. Is Anna going to be there too?
Yeah. Is Xana going to meet us too? That's what I heard. Is Xana going to meet us too? All right. What the hell's going on here? Mother. Is Xana going to meet us here too? Yeah, that's what I just was thinking, Pandora. Like, is that one of the roommates?
My mind's blown. What in the world? Were they all headed there?
One second, chat. Let's do some screenshots.
Hey, Birdie, did you check your email?
I'm going to do it right now. Thank you for reminding me. I did totally forget. Sorry. All right, one second. I don't got anything. I can't type it out exact here. And then just so that is the first. I'm putting into the chat right now. This is the first part of my Gmail. Okay, so just add the @ sign and then the Gmail. I don't know if it'll get flagged if I type it any other way because I don't have anything in there. Jack or whoever was trying to send me it, did you guys see that? Yeah, don't put the space after it. I just did that to... Yes, thank you. While we are waiting for that to come in.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, and someone just reminded me of something that I saw today. So when Only Available, Not Available puts his videos up, there was a video that where Joe hands Molly a note, and that note is given to Kaylee by Molly. And once Kaylee reads that note is when her behavior shifts 100%.
Guys.
At the grub truck.
Okay. This is probably nothing.
Oh, the pants.
This
At
is
the grub
probably
truck.
no. This is probably nothing.
Oh.
Hang on.
Oh, shit.
Hold on.
Oh, I was thinking someone from the grub truck. That can't be her. That person is thin. She has no hat on.
Look at the jacket.
And this was at 12:37 before they went to the
Yeah.
bar?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just thought, I remember the rip in the jeans.
Maybe they went there before, but look at the hair.
Yeah. I mean, this is daytime. If you're out drinking, you put your hair. I mean,
It might be a popular style.
yeah, that's true. That's not so easy.
But is that the girl talking?
Well, let's go see.
No.
No,
Is it?
I don't know. Dude.
That's the girl all the way to the left, but her hair is... Remember, the picture, the camera's picking up different colors because it's not colorized. So it's going to be black, gray, or white.
Well, let's see. That colorized it pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know.
No, I don't even know if it's necessarily them anymore.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the pants and the shoes.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, white. Yeah.
But now I wonder if this one gets colorized. And Jack, I saw that you just sent the email, so I will open that right after I colorize this. Thank you for sending that. Oh yeah, what is in her right hand?
A bag? What is that? A clutch purse? Did they come back from the dance? Her phone? A jacket? Cup? Hmm.
Does that say Idaho?
It looks like a sweatshirt. Yeah, like a sweatshirt and then a jacket.
All right.
Yeah, he was supposed to take his little sister to the dance. But why would they be going over to 1320 Linda Lane? What's at Linda Lane? Isn't that where alleged Fight Club is?
Okay, so I just got, let me see the emails quick again. I just saw the titles of them. So, hey, what am I opening up here? I see the two videos. So I'll get those on. What is the
Chat is subject.
Did you send me two of the same videos? let's see what this sounds like.
He said it's a screenshot.
This is? Two separate videos at the same time frame. Oh. I don't understand. There's no audio to this. Is anybody else hearing anything?
No, he said it was a screenshot.
Yeah, no, I know, but I got an email from somebody else too. So I was looking at that one. All right, let's see. All right, here's a screenshot. Oh, okay, I see it now. All right, let's see what we got here, chat. Wait, what the fuck?
AI.
Sorry for my language.
Did they give it a prompt?
Yeah.
Can you make this clearer? Is a man walking? He's got to refresh his history because chat will throw that in there.
Yeah. I'm confused though. What is
Your
this?
chat knows you. Yeah.
What is this from? I mean,
Before I ask it to do anything new, I say clear history or
he
clear.
said he's never asked chat about BK.
Holy moly! What? Maybe someone else has done it. Because remember that one time you did it and the hoodie made it a girl?
Yeah. Now, what is this? This was the other screenshot. So, and if that's just like a signature picture, I'm sorry. Oh, hi.
Very interesting. That's
No,
me.
I was going to say, I didn't know if that was a signature picture that downloaded. I was like, oh, okay. That is an unusual suspect for this Idaho 4. Sorry, Jack.
That's the investigator on it.
Yeah.
Or AI investigator.
Now, hopefully you're not an undercover Fed and we just exposed whatever operation.
Whoops.
No, thank you for sending that. I am confused about whatever. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's go back to this.
Don't do scalping. Instead,
So you're saying the Linda Lane footage at 3:15 is where you think you can hear that?
Yeah, but you have to look at the fence line. There's somebody who runs past the fence line. And I sent you a picture of the little path.
Yeah. Wait, what is? Has anybody ever seen this? That's bubbly waters.
You guys, I found the knife. I cannot believe this. Watch this. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Hang on, let me crop this. I've never seen this.
When
Have
was
you?
this?
A year
When
ago.
was this? Holy crap.
Watch this. It pulls it right out. There it is, right there.
Whoa.
Oh my god, I am so shaking right now. But I want you to see something else too. Hold on just a second. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, now I want you to watch over where these cars are, those 3 cars are parked. I want you to watch that little area right there. So I'm going to do this real slow. I'm going to do it real slow. So see where the guy's walking up there in the top middle section? Now watch. There's going to be something. There's going to be something run through there. Do you think that's Murphy? Watch this. I have my hands, little arrow hands on it. Here in a second, you'll see it in a minute. It comes all the way down the road, but see at the very top, see where that original tag sign is right there? Look to the very left of it. That's where it starts running from. And you can see it running. And I know there was a cougar or something in the neighborhood that night, but this goes pretty fast because this is.
I'm sorry. That's got to be the most wild night ever in that town. You got cougars on the loose, a dog out. You got a maniac on a liver, potentially a giant sea gang undercover bust, people getting put into WITSEC. You got food truck streams that might be a cult. You got this is a simulation. That's what it is. That is wild. That's the craziest shit ever. A fight club. You got a dance for the Jesus Christ. Wow. You got someone going through the dumpster in someone speaking Portuguese. You got a cat running across there. Phoenix, anything else?
In slow motion. This thing's
Nobody
moving.
seemed to have slept.
So what?
What?
No one seemed to have slept that night.
Yeah, you got cowboys, DoorDash, reverse cameras. Yeah, I mean, is she talking about the house cat?
Watch. Do it as slow as I can. You're going to see it. Okay. Now it's going to get bigger. I'm going to zoom in. Now watch the little hands right there here in just a second. Okay, now watch this thing go by. See right there? As it runs by, see it running? And the person right there looks over at it. Okay, I want you to see something else here too. Hold on. I'm going to show you another person. I want to show you this again. My God. Actually, I'll show you this whole thing. Watch that. The knife he just pops the knife right out. Look at that. I doubled up on this one. I made it twice. Oh my God, I'm shaking. Look at that. You can even see it shining. Look at, you can see it shining. It'll glimmer here in a minute. You'll see it glisten. Okay. Okay, now watch this. A car's going to go by, but I want you to look. This person right over here. This is a person standing there, and I think it's the guy in the pink shorts from the grub truck. But here, see, do you see this motion? The motion? Okay, see where the light is at the bottom of the screen? And then he's like right above it in the white hoodie. Look where that little fog-looking area is, right to the right of that light. Now watch this. There's something moving in there. I'm going to go backwards now, and I'm going to go forward. See how it's moving behind there? Like there's somebody in the bushes over there. So this person, you can see them moving. You can literally see their bodies moving, or his body moving. And later on, okay, right in the front of the screen, you'll see by that bush off to the left of the light, the very base of it. You'll see something moving right there as well. So a little bit later in this video that nobody has actually seen, a bobcat or something comes across the street from all the way over to where that guy went back to Linda Lane. And this bobcat goes directly for this guy. And then all of a sudden, the camera cuts out. So you can see him. You can see him turning.
What if this entire thing was just covering up a vicious bobcat attack? Could you imagine?
If that was a bobcat, I would be out of there. You would see my butt running fast.
Christ. So this is Linda Lane 315.
So can we get that video? Not this video, but go get that 315 footage and slow it down.
Yep.
It could have been Murphy. They said that he was out on the loose.
Where's the dumpster footage? Okay, hang on. This is the full video. I'll just go to the timestamps. So what time do we got down here? 4:17. Okay, 3:15. All right, let's just start looking for some stuff, chat. Head on a swivel. And while we're watching it, I'm going to screen record it on YouTube so that we can put a filter on it.
At what time does he walk in?
It's coming up. It's 3:08. I think. Well, I'll go till we can see him.
And where does he come from?
He comes from down here. It looks like I've done this, not even on live. I think he comes
from in between.
I was gonna guess that he came in from like here, because he doesn't come from all the way down here. It's almost like he's walking along here, or he was walking this path and he just cut this corner.
Okay.
Why? All right. Why are people saying that this is the wrong camera? We were just watching the same angle.
I think they were talking about the running legs by the back fence.
Oh. Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Yeah, I saw the video about the flashlights being used to signal.
Again, college kids aren't doing that, but you know who might? Like trained operatives. Okay, here he is. Let's see where his head turns, where this bobcat runs by him.
You have a filter?
I'm screen recording it now, but let's go to this. Dude, I wonder if she saw this orb. Hang on. Look at this orb. That's got to be it. I'm going to follow with my cursor. See it?
Oh, that's wild. Yep.
It's a bobcat. No, it's an orb.
It's an orb.
There's a lot of them.
Or a big bug.
Oh, man.
There's another one.
Yep.
I wonder if it's from the lights.
There
shining.
was a little bit of flash of light. Hang on. Look right here.
I thought it was a light.
Oh, no. Another orb. Whoa, this one's colorized. I've never seen this one, Phoenix. Have you?
No. When was this uploaded?
5 months ago. I kind of wish it was a bobcat, not an orb.
What was that?
No. I mean, he does look, but like...
That's fast.
It is an orb, though. It's the same orb. It floats in from way up here. It floats in from
I've never seen someone with so many orbs around them.
Yeah, well, hang on. Let's go even slower. That's an orb. It comes from up here.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do I gotta search for the person running by the thing, Phoenix?
Oh, the 1330 Linda Lane runner. It's like at about 3. Shoot. Well, the screenshot that Jack sent you, 3 something. 4. No, it's. Oh God. Let me look at my.
I got it right here. Oh no, never mind. No, I don't.
So 316. Oh my God. 323:40 is the flashbang. 3:30. It's after 3:36. 3:36.
Here's another colorized one. This is crystal. Whoa.
Wonder if you can see the shadow of the guy. This is at 4:21 though. This is a different time.
But still, that's
pretty decent.
That's super decent.
You'll see the running cat. I remember seeing running legs. I wonder if they had the same shoes on.
Yeah, maybe. At 45 seconds, person comes into the video. From the left. Oh, right there. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's the hoodie man.
Car light goes on. Okay. I can't hear shit. You can hear stuff, but not very good. So here's what I'm gonna do, chat. I got the 7-hour full stream here. I'm gonna get 3:15 up. I'll screen record this, then we will have both videos. We'll have the video to put a filter on, and then we'll also have the audio here that Jack was talking about, because that is one where you can hear it. So
And while he's doing that, let's tap. You're already at 125K. Let's get you up.
nice.
315.
All right. Oh, Jack said it's almost coming up. Okay, I'll keep it playing. I'm sorry, Jack. First of all, Jack, you get the top dog tonight.
Whoop whoop.
Good job. Just the persistence. Because again, I can appreciate that, and I'm sorry that I don't keep my eyes on the chat as much as I'm clicking around looking at the other box that's open. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm like, why is all this shit bad? I had it on half speed. I get this. All right. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to slow down. I'm doing too much shit at once here. So I'm screen recording. I'm logging into a security code with my Instagram. I missed it. So I'm going to slow down. And I'm back. Okay, here we go. Let's go back. Let's see it. Whoa.
Okay, where you see those feet, I sent you the picture during the daytime. There's a little cut through there. It's like a little trail, a little path. There's the wood fence, and then right next to the right where that guy was standing, there is a little path that cuts through that you can walk right down to the next parking lot.
Wait, where would he be though?
If you go on the picture I sent you during the daytime, you'll see it.
Yeah, I think here, let's as a chat just for the quality of like the lives. I gave out the Gmail that I use for this. I haven't ever done this because my like messages on TikTok, for whatever reason, I have a hard time like keeping everything like in order as far as like how can I save that or what do I need to look at? So my Gmail is this right here in the chat with @Gmail after it. So when there's stuff you guys want to talk about, I'm gonna, I guess, reference that. Okay, does that sound good to everybody? And then Phoenix, I would say same for you too, because that's just way easier because it's on my PC.
Yeah.
I don't have to go and do the whole screen record and upload.
So it shows two people.
Let's see. Now, where would that person have come from?
The dumpster area, the little round.
Right, but is that the same? How does he show up on this?
Now go across, okay. So from the dumpster, go right across. There's a little, right to the left, to your left. Okay, right there, your other left.
Sorry.
Right where the wooded fence is, right there. There's a little like trail that walks right down into the next parking lot. Right in between there, there's a little trail that walks right down to the next parking lot.
What I was asking though is, is that the same dude that gets picked up on that camera?
I'm not sure.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Look at his shoes.
Yes. Now I need this to upload too. All right. Here we go.
And they all did run because the cop cam at the Banfield, but that was much later. Well, it was at 3:01.
Yes.
And this is at 3:15. So Officer Rosenthal was at 3:11:41. The Banfield was at 3:01. 3:23 was the flashbang. So this guy was right before the flashbang. Wow, Moscow never sleeps.
Wow.
Not over there.
Dude. See, I already know, dude, these lives, just by giving out that email, Phoenix, we're going to see some crazy shit now.
You'll see some stuff come together because remember, we're only seeing a fraction of time of what's happening in one section. And then when you see what's happening in another section and you line them up, then you get the bigger picture.
Yeah. I see the screenshots. All right. I just downloaded all of that. So, hang on. Oh.
3:36 is when they're questioned by the cop. So who was it at 3:15 to 3:16?
I'm sorry, Jack. I accidentally downloaded the signature picture again. Bobby. Where? Holy shit. Oh yeah.
Well, this goes on for a while.
Yeah.
So there's, let me see, 2:20. Hold on a minute. I'm looking at my timeline here. This goes on for a while, and then someone says, "I see you, Farley." And I don't know, and I don't know if this is the actual sound. That's why it's so odd.
I mean, hey, I've seen stuff be super enhanced as far as like when you do the filters. Okay, that's one that's worth putting into CapCut.
Holistic Hippie, she's been awesome. Play the clip I sent you. It's louder.
Isn't that the one that is it just on Instagram, or did you email me it now? My Instagram, I have to, my other phone, like my personal phone where it sent the code to, is in my room, and I only use this one and the PC for the streaming. Can you email me it, Holistic Hippie? I'm sorry. It's much quicker. I am checking the emails, everybody. Gosh. All right, let me see if I can. Can I download this. Can I then put it in here? Okay, hang on. I am trying to find. I know my. Holistic hippie, are you talking about the enhanced screenshot of somebody running, or are you talking about? I know. What?
Yeah, the 242, it goes all the way up until 301, and then the boys are stopped at the band field.
It says there's a problem playing one of the videos. Hang on. Maybe that's just. Oh, hang on. Wait. I got it. Nice. Thank you for the patience, chat. Okay, so that's the one I believe that you. This is enhanced now.
Hey, Brady, I got 10 minutes, and then I'm going to call it a night.
Okay.
So can you put captions on there? Did you get any?
I just did.
I know we heard, oh my God. And that's where I got the, you didn't have to unalive them. You didn't have to ill them.
Dude. Okay. Holistic Hippie said that's still not the one that she sent. I only have. I've downloaded everything. And I'm not saying that it's your fault. Just let it. It could be mine. It is mine.
See, and that's why I figured about this time of that audio.
Oh shit! I got it. Damn! I just blew my eardrums
Holy
out.
moly.
Wow. Oh shit! My bad. Sorry. That's the one, right? Holistic Hippie. That has to be the one. Okay. All right. Damn. Sorry, everybody. All right, and let's. How do I get rid of this now? I don't want any of this. Okay. I gotta take these things down.
If you fell asleep listening to the live and were awoken, go back to sleep.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Warning. Fire in the hole. That is not all right. I heard tell her to get the F out here.
Yeah, I heard it. I think we're going to be able to work with this here. Sometimes podcast is good too. Or music enhancer. Wow. That is interesting. Here, I want to go to this right here. Bethany said something very
Oops. I want to go to this because I had this. Oh, why is it not showing all of them? Okay. I want to go back to this because I posted this and people thought, again, this was the first time, this video that I'm about to show you, this was the first time that I ever did my own editing for CapCut. And I was losing my shit in bed when I was doing this. Like I was doing this like early in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, I can hear everything crystal clear. And then I go and I upload it. And again, this is like the first time that I ever did the audio. And people are like, dude, that's clearly a fake clip. And I'm like, nah, I did the clip. I spent 2 hours on it. So I'm going to go back to that. Right here. Of course, now it's quiet as hell. Let me try something. Phoenix, I know you said you got to get going at 10. So let me play this for you.
Sure.
And then you. Well, why would it do that? What? Dude, I give myself an F tonight on the computer.
No, you don't. You're trying to do multitasking, and I know it's hard for your ADHD.
I have a sweat going.
Deep breath, Bertie, deep breath.
All right, you're right. I'm fine. We're good. Now, all I want to know is this. Why wouldn't there be freaking volume?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was concerned with, chat. If you think we could hear this on camera, why could the police not hear this if they were out walking around? Or their shift had just ended about that time, or they may have been distracted by other parties.
Yes. Okay. I have an idea. What date was this from? 3/16.
You have the original you uploaded?
Yep. Yes. Okay. Come on. Perfect.
And the audio you're trying to capture is the one that I got my theory that Maddie and Kaylee may have been home and they were bringing Ethan and Xana back. And this is where they see what's going on.
Yes. Yep. And I did the captions myself on this. But again, you guys can see whenever I do this, I put the enhancements that I used on screen. So here is the voice pitch. So the difference is that on my phone, what I can do, chat, is I can do a voice pitch. I can download that file. Then I can upload the one with the voice pitch. I can do a background noise reduction, download that file. So now it's like stacked. So I can have multiple effects on the file. Whereas here, we can only pick one, if that makes sense. So that's what you can do on the phone compared to what you can do on the PC for the online version. I have to do it out of a tab in order to share it here. Or if you do it where it's downloaded on the PC, it makes the live lag. So here we go. Of course, you guys can't see it. Here we go. So I'm going to play that one more time because my captions, I've listened to this a bunch of times since I did that, but so right there, instead of it saying, "Oh my God, oh God," I think they say, "Oh my God, Ethan." Ethan. Instead of, "Oh God," it's, "Oh my God, Ethan."
It's Ethan.
Yep.
They realize what they've done to him.
Yep. It's so also, yeah, I put that out there and I had never done that before. And I had some people that were like DMing me saying like, "Hey, that's a fake clip. I've heard that before, that one before." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know how you could have possibly heard this. I just spent hours doing this. So I remember I put it on private for like 2 months and I forgot. And it just recently, like in the last probably month, did I put it back because I forgot I even did that. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. That's one of those things where I'm like, look, I'm pretty much, I'm 100% convinced that it was not the BK loner narrative, but I am 100% convinced, I'm 100% convinced that this is not the BK loner incel unalive them because they're beautiful narrative. I am convinced that we probably watched one of two things happened. We either watched an actual rug hit go down, and then the U.S. Marshals and everybody got involved because they're like, holy shit, they found out about an informant, they found out about an operation going on, and they had to cover that up. or it's what I was saying yesterday, where this was an entire piece of an operation, and a lot of stuff was ready to go, and they had to enact this in order to get their informants out, give public, like, kind of disclosure, a public narrative. When I hear this, it's hard to not think that maybe the Sea Gang didn't get to them, and God rest their souls. But there's also so many aspects of it as well, where both of those two things, when I say symbolism and I say ritual, it could also be involved in that too, in that type of scenario. There's going to be things like, it could be, if it's the actual Sea Gang, it's a message being sent, hence why Ethan's legs are carved. Or if it was potentially WITSEC, they'd have to make it look like somebody who studies serial unalivers like Ted Bundy in the BTK, so that they're going to then put the symbolism in it. Or it's neither of those, and it's the crazy cult church. Or it could have been the Bobcat at this point. I don't know, Phoenix. Like, now that after I started saying that, I'm like, I have no idea. I just know a lot of crazy shit happened, and I don't think any of it points to what the news says.
I'd have to agree with your last statement. Nothing points to what the news says. And in my humble opinion, there were many, probably 3 or 4 different things going on at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just parallel. We're talking omnidirectional, right?
Yeah.
There is something more happening. Obviously, we know from the big picture, but at that level, they had lost control of the narrative, even in this situation. Some outlying force was trying to gain better control.
It makes my head spin, Phoenix.
And that is why everyone is interested in what really happened.
You know, and again, I am convinced that it wasn't the narrative the news said. That I'm 100% positive on. As for the other stuff, I don't know. Because, again, Phoenix, you don't have a fixed mind. I don't have a fixed mind. Pretty much the majority of our chat, they don't have a fixed mind. They can learn new stuff, and it can shape how they think about it. But sometimes I do wonder, like, what would it be like if my brain thought the way of a person who believed the narrative on this case from the news? And I've thought about, what else would I think about in a different light? And it's pretty much everything. Because, and I actually think it would be kind of boring to think that way. I can't go downtown and not point out the buildings being 4 feet under mud. I can't go in a crystal clear sky and not mention to somebody there might be a map of the earth on the moon. I can't talk about how maybe I'll stop. I don't want to go on a tangent.
Because it's hard to fathom. Our minds can't wrap around the unexplainable. That's why if you begin to use the rational theory of explaining to other people that are open, then you can question the unthinkable.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is. And it's just so crazy. It's all so crazy. It's not that it makes me upset when other people believe that. It really doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think it's worth getting upset about other people's opinions. I've always said I think it's a problem that we can't get past the initial point of disagreement in a conversation. But it is probably pretty boring if you don't think outside the box, at least a little bit. Like, I was having a conversation with my wife's sister, and she was like, so I heard you're like this like conspiracy guy. And I don't know why I just use that voice, because she's completely normal. She's super cool. And she goes, I want to hear like all the crazy stuff, like the Denver airport. And I just started thinking, I'm like, oh, honey, that's like preschool. Like, I feel like we could go to like a PhD level where next thing you know, you're questioning the existence of like, do reptilian overlords actually control us? Like, I'll go deep, and people can't handle it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so I've gone down all the rabbit holes. Okay. So when I look at a Dateline documentary, something inside of me cannot just stay quiet. Okay. So, and let's do a fun little poll. I'm just curious because I see stuff about the flat earth. Chat, type of 1 if you think the earth's flat, type of 2 if you think we live on a spinning ball in the middle of nothing. We have found, maybe we found our people. Oh, there's some 2s. But again, it's okay. Because guess what? None of us ever probably are really going to know. So we can all agree to disagree. It's
There's a deep rabbit hole on this topic.
And I've gone deep on it. And I've enjoyed it. Okay, I have fully embraced that rabbit hole. And yeah. I don't know if I believe it, but I've gone down it.
I've tried to rationalize it. So I did find something very interesting today that relates to this case. And I did not know that until today, that Steve had an older daughter that he does not communicate with because of this case now. And allegedly abandoned the mother and this first daughter he had to therefore have some second marriage, other children. And she had some very interesting, thought-provoking videos on her TikTok that I was just, wow, this girl is logical. She shared some text, and it made me look at Steve in a much different light. I'm just saying that is a deep rabbit hole. And if it is accurate with what she shared, this is someone I would never associate with in real life.
Is it the business name and everything that lists that out?
Not that. Just the individual and who they portray themselves to be.
Is this something you could email me and I could put it on? Not now. But.
Yeah, not now. But it's a great topic we could talk about because we're only seeing one side to the story. This gives you another perspective firsthand, and how basically he wanted to disown her because she was speaking truth.
Wow. Dude, I don't know if it is interesting. Since I've really kind of gone in on this case, Phoenix, I'm sure you're the same way. Your inbox probably looks similar to mine. I've had more people than probably even actually occupy the population of Moscow or Idaho or close to there. I swear to God, everybody in my inbox is like, I'm from there. And I'm like, how is it possible? I've never even heard of this city before it was, as G would say, put on the map. And what is interesting though, is the people that say that, outside of the one that was on my live being Alpha, nobody believes it was just BK for the most part. Maybe at least not by himself.
I did a clip today with WSU Kim that her daughter was going to school. They have since moved far away from there. And her daughter did give her some information in the very beginning. And it was rumored that there were 3 or 4 people at that house that did this, which lines up to Brian Kohberger via his attorney, Ann Taylor, telling him they're other perps and I will be exonerated. Which is very telling, because remember, Brian did not have to know these individuals directly. He could have known them from a connected source, like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? Somebody knows somebody that they know somebody and they have in common. And I made a video. It was very interesting because I played her clip and what she says, and it's not my words. You can go watch and listen. But there is so many other dynamics to make you, I'm open to listening to every source. I'm not biased about this, but it just makes me uneasy when someone else is on the flip side saying, hey, this person isn't who you really think they are. And it solidifies or confirms we've had that suspicion.
Yes. Do you think it's Bethany that would exonerate him?
I don't know, but it looks like by the investigation and some of the crime scene photos, that might have been the point of entry into the house.
Again, I think that the reason why it also doesn't make sense, like there is a real possibility that this doesn't make sense because we have a carrot in the court documents dangled in front of our face that didn't really happen, because everything that they're saying on the court document, outside of like the stuff that's like, okay, you can't argue on camera, like the food truck footage. Outside of that, you can't confirm anything.
Right.
I mean, you could piece it together with like digging, but you know what I mean? Like you can't confirm it visually with timestamps, with audio, with any of the things that you would typically use to confirm it.
Because Dylan's story keeps changing 3 or 4 times.
And
now, go ahead, Bertie.
I was just going to say, it makes me think, though, out of all the people that have had the light on them, it's been Steve and then Dylan. But you haven't heard anything from Bethany. And that's where my spidey senses go off. And it's always the quiet ones. It's always the quiet ones. It's always the ones you'd least expect. I don't know if that means anything nefarious, but I'm just saying either they know something that could exonerate Brian, they know something that about really happened more so, but that to me, something's going off where, why?
And she's always been silent because the defense will call her and subpoena her to testify on his behalf. That's what I think will happen. But I've always said from the beginning, why 2 college students, both awake, but yet none of them call 911 at any moment?
Well, the giant glaring one is maybe they weren't there.
And that was another theory of it was parents' weekend. They had the big game. They were staying at the hotel.
Yeah.
And they came back in the morning.
So what's so interesting is that, again, it's just like she claims she heard nothing. She was sleeping on the ground floor. Fine. But here's the kicker. The civil lawsuit filed later, she was subpoenaed to testify in Koberger's defense and she fought it. Why? If you're just a bystander, why not testify? Why fight it unless you have something to hide? Usually the simplest questions like that, that's so true. Why would you fight that?
Well, I think also, some of these families reserve the right to sue the university in civil lawsuits, because what we're watching out play in court right now is the criminal lawsuit against the state versus Koberger. But if she has exculpatory evidence that she knows firsthand as a true factual witness, it's not hearsay, it comes directly from her seeing what happened, not just hearing what happened, then as a witness, you would testify in a civil trial, but that civil trial testimony can be used in the criminal defense for Brian Koberger. So she fought it so she didn't have to testify on the record under perjury, penalty of perjury, and then they could go use her witness statement and her testimony in the criminal.
Sorry.
You're good.
But so I think sometimes what happens though, and I'm guilty of it, is we start thinking extremely technical. If you were just one of 2 people that lived in that brutal of a scene, what are you worried about? Perjury or suing or any, like, that's what I don't understand that.
She's scared for her life. She's probably afraid they're going to come and get her.
Well, if they got the right guy, they wouldn't be worried about that, would they?
Exactly.
Especially because the guy that they got had no friends and he's the weirdest person ever and nobody would ever want to interact with him. So as long as you got him off the street, nobody else could have possibly been doing it. But that's just not true. Just like how they had to use the legal loophole to use the third-party genetic databases because they couldn't get a warrant because they didn't have probable cause, which is what led them to break their own guidelines. So you don't have probable cause, so you have to go to a third-party genetic database to even tie this guy to the scene. And now you're saying that this, or not you, but they're saying this girl might be afraid for her life and won't testify, even though she's this survivor who apparently lived through the most brutal scene of all time by this one incel single criminology student, one K-bar, one timeline, one getaway car, and now he's behind bars and he's about to get pew-pewed. And so what would you be worried about, right? That right there crumbles it.
But like I said, what if these individuals have immunity from what they did because they took a bigger organization out?
That's what I'm saying is like, look, I'm 100% convinced that those are marshals at the scene. I think that screenshot is here and it's blurred out on the news. Like, why would you, like, how do they even go back and blur that out? Or how was it blurred out in real time? Because I doubt it was blurred out in real time. It was probably blurred out for the re-upload of it. And like, people are like, well, again, I started the show with this and it's like, why marshals are on scene all the time? Well, they're on the scenes all the time where there's like a giant case, and they're not on the scene for just small town college unalivings by a single perpetrator that had no friends where nobody else would be involved.
Well, you know what they say about snitches? They end up in a ditch. But if Brian takes the fall for all this, they will never have to testify or say who did what.
Which is just bullshit.
I don't know if I could live with myself knowing that somebody is going in front of a firing squad because I didn't want to say the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's what's wrong with it. I can't. Oh, wait, hang on. Is this it? No, I mean, I've gone through all that stuff. What was I just looking up, though?
Someone said she testified at the grand jury. I don't know if that's factual. I have never seen that. That is not privy to the public information. But I do know that somebody has filed, what are they called? Freedom of Information Act, for Kaylee.
Wait, yeah, okay. Talk about that. Why? Why?
I think they want to know more information on Kaylee. Now, I don't know if they've actually received anything, but this was obviously alleged a year and a half ago. So they probably won't release anything until after this case is over.
Okay.
And mind you, this is supposed to be a closed investigation. They got their guy.
Right. And like, you go back to like, okay, another reason could be maybe they weren't actually in the house. And is that why Ann Taylor is saying, hey, why don't you come testify then? And she's going to have to say, oh, I wasn't there. Oh, well, where were you? And who were you with? Oh, I was in a hotel down the road with DM. And that explains their phone behavior in the morning. And then that also explains the timing of the 911 call, which is shortly right after checkout would be in a hotel room. And then it explains maybe why they didn't go inside and see it because they were too afraid to even go inside the house because they knew what happened the night before.
They made others go. But if they did both, one or two of them testify at the grand jury, that led them to believe that he is the guy.
Well, and all FOIA requests for the hotels have been denied. Credit card statements, footage, all of that. And again, it's like, is that really a company protecting itself, or is it like, it's under the gag order? Can't show you that.
The rumor is Bethany and Dylan weren't even home.
Right. So Again, floating around Reddit and Twitter before the purge, smaller alt news forums, that the surviving roommates may not have been in the King Road house during the unalivings at all. They either stayed out partying, they were sleeping over somewhere else, or here's the kicker, they stayed at a local hotel or frat house, possibly due to overnight plans. Now, why would people believe this? The checkout time coincidence. The 911 call was placed at 11:58 on Sunday, November 13th of 2022. Guess what else happens between 11 and noon? Hotel checkout time. Fraternity and sorority curfews for guest sign-ins and out. Greek life weekend visit wraps up. People started noticing that the timing of the 911 call suspiciously aligned with what would be a checkout scenario. The girls returned to the house mid-morning, discovered the bodies, and then called 911 as if they'd been there the whole time. Now, what blows us wide open is that if Dylan and Bethany weren't in the house when the unalivings occurred and only returned later, that destroys the official affidavit, which is based on Dylan's timeline. She supposedly heard crying, a voice, footsteps, saw the intruder. The statement anchors the entire state's narrative. But if she wasn't even home, then the affidavit is either a fabrication to back up a narrative, a cover-up, or a misstatement made under pressure or manipulation. And Bethany, there's no time-stamped activity tying her to the house that night. None. Total blackout. Obviously, this theory is going to hold weight. Lack of evidence when they were home. Sealed records and gag orders. Bethany fighting the subpoena. If she wasn't home, her version of events wouldn't match Dylan's. That could undermine the case against Kohberger or expose something far worse. The law enforcement and the FBI manufactured a timeline. Let's say this happened. Bethany and Dylan stay out, partying, sleeping over, whatever. The unalivings occur while nobody else is in the house except the victims. They return the next day around 11:30 when the bodies are found. Panic. 911 is called at 11:58. To preserve a clean case and control the narrative, Dylan is told or coached to say she saw the intruder. Bethany goes silent. The public doesn't learn the full story because it blows the timeline apart and introduces new suspects. Why would they lie? Because if both girls weren't home, Kohberger's entire motive becomes unprovable. The timeline gets shredded. The real unalivers could still be at large, possibly known to them or connected to a local power structure. So again, the final take is that if the hotel checkout theory is true, even partially, then the core timeline of the Idaho 4 case is a lie.
And what did I say? Checkout time? Oh my God. And then I said, why would you be posting a picture on Instagram at 3:01 and not hear everything happening in the house? And then back and forth calling everybody. Why were they calling? Why couldn't they just get out of the room and go check themselves?
Yeah. I mean, I never even thought about this part because, like,
what does it say?
The absence of the red stuff on them.
Possible.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're in the house and it's as bad as, like, the coroner really sold us that it was, she really made it seem like it was that bad, right? I mean,
but didn't know much or could say much.
And if you're like walking by her on the floor, wouldn't you step in it? Wouldn't you notice it everywhere?
Because they had time to clean up.
Dude, go watch. There's a new documentary that just came out about this this wife and her father who unalived her husband. Go watch that documentary compared to the Idaho 4. That's a real unaliving. That's real crime photos. That shit is like, holy hell. And that was with, I don't know if you've seen that one. I don't remember the name of it. But it's like, whoa. See, like, no one's questioning that. They had a forensics guy that's like, okay, he was here. He ran there. He was hit when his head was about 2 inches off the ground. That might have been the final blow. Yeah, it's called American Marriage. And what's so wild, her and her dad aren't in jail. They're in the documentary too. It's just, I didn't watch the full thing, so no spoiler alert. I like fell asleep right after, like, of course, like the bloodiest part. So that's what I shut my eyes to. But that's what you would think. And it's like, okay, so they have photos of all that. I just want to see if there's anything in this. Oh, wow.
Alleged sightings. And then she posted that Instagram at 3:01. Why would somebody do that if in the middle of hearing everything on audio, and if the Linda Lane is correct, how could they not hear that?
again, take this with a grain of salt. An anonymous poster on 4chan claimed a local hotel worker recognized the two young women matching their description checking out late and looking panicked. Obviously, these aren't confirmed.
Correct.
But the only thing that is confirmed is that DM came face to face with an unaliver and still didn't do anything for 8 hours. I almost believe that shit more. Like this that I highlighted. But
that's the only other theory, because we know that even if DM's statement, she didn't even place Xana and Ethan back at the house.
I'm going to say, can you line this theory up with the official timeline and then speculate on when / if Ethan and Xana got back to the house? Go over the whole timeline with this theory above as the basis. Stay factual to the timeline and see if it makes sense. So are we all agreeing on this? I mean, I told it to speculate on Ethan and Xana, but let's take this with a grain of salt. Which, this is a good point. Were they accounted for? Like, what was the earliest that those two were accounted for?
Ooh, that's a good one. I have no idea.
That's a great question.
Oh, yeah, that's... Wow.
Sorry, I'm trying to make it bigger. Because I don't know. Rumors suggest they could have been at another frat party, sleeping over, or possibly left the house altogether. Because we know this. We know that. We don't know this.
Yeah, that's odd.
So, all right, we know Kaylee and Maddie are seen on the food truck. They get a ride home via private party, not Uber. All right, there's still no documented movement for Dylan or Bethany at this time. How have we never thought about that?
Other than what the PCA says, or in the affidavits, and then obviously the timelines that just came out a few weeks ago.
And Holly gets a top dog for that comment because she just said, yeah, DM invited her to be the +1 and then just ghosts her the whole night.
Yeah, didn't take her.
Sorry to cut you off. What were you going to say, Phoenix?
No, that's just wild, because if they're not accounted for, where were they?
Yeah, so then you start asking, okay, well, what if they were home? So would two girls sleep through their roommates getting home at 2 a.m. with noise and lights in a party house? Unlikely. It could be because they simply weren't there. So then this is this theory that between 1:45 and 2, Ethan and Xana return home. The exact time is uncertain, but it's assumed to be around this window. This is critical because it establishes that all 4 victims were back inside that house by 2. So if they were home,
the document says at 2:10 they wanted to go get food, and it says that the 5th roommate, Xana, was not back home yet.
So that means, well, okay. But so then still, if they're not there, then only the other 2 would be home. There'd only be victims home.
Correct.
Okay. So now I've never understood that part at all. I don't know. So then according to the affidavit, Dylan hears noises approximately 4 a.m., possibly Xana crying, thumping.
Well, how could it be her if she was on TikTok at 4:12?
I don't know. And that's again, yeah. So, okay. So here's the alternative theory. Dylan and Bethany are not in the house. They are either still at a frat or a hotel location, or they're on the way home unaware of what happened. Huge crack. If Dylan wasn't there, her affidavit statement can't be true. Which that means this. That means the masked man, the eyebrows, the hoodie, all that shit can't be true either. It was given to her after the fact or manufactured to support Kohberger's arrest. And technically, the first person to say that somebody was in their house last night wasn't even the original caller of 911. It was the neighbor.
But don't you think the neighbor would have heard at least something?
Yep. So that means that based on this, I mean, we've all obviously we've all read the documents. Oh, man, that's really what it could be, guys. And that totally explains the complete silence. If you're going to look at it through that light. Obviously, for people in the chat, that's what we do in here.
And that's what we're looking at today.
Because the official timeline shows no activity. I'll move that over for you guys just a little bit so you can see it. Well, someone said, who got her to say that? Well, I doubt it was Kohberger. Who would you lie for if you were put in that position? I don't know if I'd lie for the police. You might lie for somebody that you love, or you might lie for somebody that tells you if you talk, maybe. So if it's not somebody that you love, you might lie for a group that you know is capable of taking you out. And let's be honest, that could be the C Gang. That could also be. That could be, but it ain't. I don't know. It's just. No digital footprint was released. No social media or phone pings or camera footage. If they were in the house, why wouldn't that information? So here's a speculative based theory. Bill and Indefinite. Did I just say Bill and Indefinite? Whoops. Bethany and Dylan leave wherever they were staying. They walk or drive back to 1122 King Road. They open the door. They see that, panic, or call for help. They say that it's made for an unconscious person. Which, do you think that if it was made for an unconscious person, and then obviously we've enhanced that audio where you hear them going, is she passed out? And then you hear clearly Ethan's name too, but it doesn't change. If they knew something was going down and they went back and they didn't want to go inside, so they called their friends over, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what are you going to say? Just say they're drunk and passed out. Don't allege to anything. I don't know. Oh, this is interesting. Now it's diving into Xana and Ethan. When did they really get back? Xana was active on TikTok till 4:12. Both were at Sigma Chi, possibly returned between 1:45 and 2. There's really no there. We know that there's not. We've talked about that at length. No confirmed security cam of their return. It's just assumed.
Hey, I wanted to just chime in for a second.
Yeah, you're good.
They have changed the time of Xana's TikTok to 3:16.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's not 4:12. It's 3:16 a.m.
When did they?
It's in the court document. It's changed.
Apparently they changed the TikTok time to 3:16 a.m. for Xana. Can you how big of a difference does that make? And while it's doing that, it says that's a crucial update and it changes the entire unaliving window.
Yes, but not only that, if you go back to the Linda Lane footage, that's when all the activity starts happening over there.
Yep.
And
that's when someone says, you didn't have to do that.
And you hear her name. Wow. That's honestly probably what it is right there then.
We have no idea because that 417 audio from the bulb camera was hotly disputed, that it was put out by someone who makes stuff up or something. But let's assume that it's real, at 417, 50 feet away. That's what the police have? I mean, it's in the PCA, and they're building a case around just the basic of that video. I'm like, I just thought it ridiculous.
Dude.
But the unalivers could come in and set that up.
Do you know what else that means then?
Then they were already unalived, and Dylan probably didn't see anything.
Exactly. That is insane. How do you see a masked man then if it's that timeline of when they say it happened, if they're going to shave an hour back off of it? That means dude was sitting in there the entire time. No wonder he was able to sit down on a chair and take a break, like Dateline said, because he didn't just do it for a millisecond to keep the timeline. He was probably, wow, dude. Or if they never left the house, they're sitting in there and they're scheming on how the hell they're going to come up with some stupid ass story to get themselves off because they know what just went down.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the Grub Truck audio, the staff says, we did it. Grub Truckers did it. It's pre-planned.
Yep.
They planned it all out.
So for the people in the chat that are asking us to repeat this, in the court documents, Mike just hopped up here and he said they've moved the TikTok activity back from 4:12 to 3:16. Well, if that's true and Xana was unalive shortly after, which that time would align with all of the Linda Lane footage that we just watched where you hear the screaming, how the hell does Dylan see a masked man and hear crying at 4 a.m.? How is anything that she says that happened at 4 a.m., even though that's also in the court documents, how is that accurate? How is it that then in the Dateline episode, they're saying that this guy came in here because they're going off of the official timeline? I didn't see anything about the 3:16 in the Dateline episode. So that means that already in the shortest time frame ever to commit 4 unalivings, this guy on Dateline said that the unaliver had adrenal fatigue and he sat down and he took a break. No. I'm sorry. Not in any world.
And had all that time to do all that damage and clean up after his little break time.
You know, I would hate for this to be true. I would hate that people that you think were your friends or your roommates would ever set you up. Could you imagine if that shit comes out? I'm not saying that I want it to. I'm not saying that that's what had happened. Let me make that crystal effing clear. But it's happened before. People have set up their husbands. People have set up their wives. People have set up their brothers, their family members, their best friends, their bosses. I can't even fathom why or how they would be getting protected on that aspect of it. Again, unless it's an operation that went freaking sideways and it had to be covered up in the media. You know what I'm saying, Mike and Phoenix?
Bingo. Didn't I tell you it had to be hush hush if somebody did the wrong thing?
Or they're covering for somebody super powerful, but my mind would be boggled if, like, how. I just don't think that somebody that it's like a single person they're trying to protect, meaning like that's not under federal protection for taking down a criminal organization. I don't know.
Yeah, but if somebody went rogue and
Yeah.
they had to be, you're going to have to do what you have to do to stay in, to take down the middle guy and the big guy, because that's what's taken 2 years to do that, then they had to keep their key players in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now they're saying that the guy ate the DoorDash.
I said that because Sharon is down there cracking me up. She's like, "Oh yeah, he sat in the chair and he got a little hungry, so he had a snack."
Yeah.
It's like I don't think there's any reason why a group of unalivers can't set up the 4 a.m. timeline.
Yeah. So that's like too with the green Elantra. Well, Brian probably wrapped it. Okay, so he's the Jason Bourne of wrapping cars, which if you've ever watched a video on how long that takes, he's the Jason Bourne of first time unalivers with like the wildest weapon choice. He might even have a pet bobcat. Okay, we don't know at this point, but there's just no way that this is what they're telling us, folks.
When Brian was out hiking, he caught a baby cougar.
Yeah, and he raised it, and he trained it to be the animal version of the BTK because Professor Ramslam gave him the inside scope on how to do that. And
I said he was Batman, Spider-Man, and Deadpool.
yeah, no, someone just said he's Ricky Bobby. Hang on, he's literally Ricky Bobby with the cougar in the car. And if
it fit in because Washington State is the Cougars.
Yeah.
So it fit into his PhD.
Yes.
Basically, what happened to you is that you saw the fear. So before you can even think about any real driving, you got to make friends with that fear. So get in the car. What the hell? It's a goddamn cougar in the car. Cougar in the car, I put it in there. You got to learn to drive with the fear. And there ain't nothing more goddamn frightening than driving with a live cougar in the car.
that shit's scary, I bet.
That thing. I trapped it. Been keeping it at my bathroom at the motel, feeding it old pizza. Now get back in that car, you hear me? No, I'm not getting in that car. Hey, listen to me. If you're calm, that wondrous big cat will be calm too. But if you're scared, that beautiful death machine will do what God made it to do. Namely, eat you with a smile on its face.
God, you just follow me wherever I go.
Well, he's just looking at you.
He's just the Cougar's Koberger.
Calm down, the cougar will be okay.
You got it.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Come on, son, you can do it. Come on.
Oh, come on.
That's it. No sudden moves.
Like now the car is number 13.
What's that?
I said the car is number 13.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Simulation.
I'm just going to get in there. I'm just going to grab the handle. I'm just going to get in there and drive that car. But I'm going to do it calm.
Calm. Piece of cake.
I was just trying to stay calm. Oh! Oh, man!
Sometime today, son.
Okay, here we go. I'm getting in.
Ricky, control your heart rate.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm not saying that that's more believable than the official narrative, but it's close.
I have a feeling that you're going to see a joint effort to make sure that Kohberger walks.
Yeah, I would agree. And okay, so chat, I'm going to put this in the chat one more time right here. This is my email. If you have something that you want me to put on the TikTok show that Phoenix and I and Mike and Sammy and Devil's Advocate at some point you want it to be talked about, or if it's relevant or if it's new, especially like I try to either do the video breakdown stuff because I think it's more interactive with the visual, or I'll do like a presentation with notes that I'll put together on like an aspect of a theory. If there's court documents that are dropping soon, which I don't know if are they coming out tomorrow?
I think tomorrow, and I hope that we get some really good information. If they stop sealing everything, I think they're going to start opening it wide open.
Yes. And then if you guys could please write like a sentence, 1 to 3 sentences on what it is that you sent me so that when I download it, I can give it an accurate name outside of just movie file with 14 different numbers behind it. Because then I click around and I start sweating. So here it is in the chat. Type @Gmail behind it, @gmail.com behind it. And then that is the email that I use for TikTok. So with that being said, another great chat. I am curious to see what the court docs say tomorrow. We will most likely be diving into that. Mrs. Birdie comes on Wednesday nights. She has been preparing a like 10 to 15 minute segment on how she thinks the Dateline episode was a bunch of horse shit. So I'm excited to see her rant about that because I don't know what she's going to necessarily point out. But with that being said, shout out to the mods, shout out to the chats. The Hive Mind absolutely rules. That's what I'm going to name the chat. The chat is now the Hive Mind. Phoenix, you rock. Mike, I'm glad that you popped up for a little bit. And I post all of the live streams, all of it, the full streams on YouTube. So go subscribe over to YouTube. It's Birdie Bombshells with an S. So I hope everybody has a great night and everyone sleeps good. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, chat.
Have a good night.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch till tomorrow. Bye.
Yep. See ya.